from Boston, ABC Sports presents the 13th week of the United States Football League. A game that could produce the first division champion in the USFL. The Philadelphia Stars can win the Atlantic Division title today if they can get past the Boston Breakers. Clouds are hanging over Boston. It is cool and light rain showers are forecast for the afternoon as we settle in at Nickerson Field, Boston University, for this second meeting between the Philadelphia Stars and the Boston Breakers. Hello again, everybody. I'm Keith Jackson. We have an interesting football game for you today. We have had a rather interesting week in the United States Football League. The rumors continue rife that this franchise here in Boston may be moved. We'll talk about that at halftime with the president of the ball club. We also have Jim Gould resigning this past week as the president of the Washington Federals. We have some difference of opinion as to whether or not the new USFL franchise will be able to use San Diego Stadium. The Stadium Authority disagrees that 3 teams can use the same grass. And Craig Morton debuted as the head coach of the Denver Gold, succeeding Red Miller, and he won his opening game. I think the importance of today's ball game here at Nickerson Field in Boston is easily defined when you look to the Atlantic Division standings. Now, the Philadelphia Stars, on an 8-game win streak, have a record of 11-1. Boston is the only member of the Atlantic Division with an outside chance at catching Philadelphia. If the Stars should win today, they lock the division title because they will hold 2 wins over Boston. Of course, Boston needs the win to stay in the hunt for a wild card spot in the playoffs. In the Pacific Division this afternoon, there is a big ball game. Los Angeles, leading the division, is at Oakland, the second-place team. Looking into the Central Division, which remains the tough division of the USFL right now, insofar as the competitive factors are concerned within it, Tampa Bay still leading, but they've got to go up and play at Michigan. Chicago is second. Birmingham went to Denver on Friday night on a 5-game win streak, and they lost the football game to the Denver Gold. It was the game that marked the first job as a head coach for Craig Morton. Remember, Craig Morton was the quarterback of the Denver Broncos under Red Miller when they played in the Super Bowl. Well, Birmingham took the opening kickoff Friday night, went right down the field and scored on a 15-yard pass Bob Lane to Jim Smith. But Denver's defense stiffened some. Birmingham made some mistakes. Fred Mortenson's first start at quarterback for Denver options the ball around the left corner and into the end zone for a touchdown. Then there was another Birmingham turnover. They had 4 in all. Same kind of a play as Mortensen again reads well and goes in for the touchdown. And then the killer of Birmingham's 5-game win streak was this one. David Dumars, a 78-yard run for a touchdown after intercepting Bobby Lane. Birmingham scored late in the ball game. They missed the 2-point extra point conversion, and the Denver Broncos, with a rather weak offensive showing, the Denver Gold hung on to win by a score of 21-19. Also worth noting that 38,829 people were in the stadium to see that ball game, and though it was not a perfect ball game for Craig Morton's troops, they did come away with a win, and the old quarterback's got to be happy about it. We're going to talk to him at halftime. Lynn Swan is our analyst, expert commentator. Swan, let's talk about this ball game today, how it matches up between 2 pretty good football games.
Well, I think it's going to match up very well. Of course, when you look at the Philadelphia Stars, you have to look at their number 1 strength, and that's their running game. Kelvin Bryant running behind the superb blocking of an offensive line that can possess the football, drive the length of the field, put points on the scoreboard, and eat up the clock. That's going to be the number 1 target of the Boston Breakers defense, and they will rely heavily on Darrell Wilkerson, their defensive end, in his matchup against number 75, Irv Eatman, the rookie UCLA tackle. Of course, Marcus Merrick, the inside linebacker for the Breakers, will be chasing Kelvin Bryant across the field. Now, when you look at the Boston Breakers, their strong point, their strength is in their passing game. It's a number 2 passing game in the USFL. It's a very shifting kind of offense, multi-formation kind of offense that's designed to set up mismatches in the secondary. They'll be trying to get their number 1 receiver, Nolan Franz, mismatched against a safety in man-to-man coverage throughout the ball game. Of course, they're going against a defense that has 25 interceptions on their record, and they bend but they don't break. The weaknesses have to be in Philadelphia's passing game. They don't pass the ball consistently well, so the defense will try and force them into a passing situation. Boston, however, if they want to win this ball game, they have to go up on top very, very quickly and play a full football game, not just a great second half. And the man who has that responsibility is Johnnie Walton, their quarterback. And Johnnie Walton is coached by a man who has been in that situation before. He's been in the pocket when he's had great protection and when it's been a welcome match for a charging defensive line. That man is Roman Gabriel, and our colleague Tim Brandt is with Roman right now. Tim?
And Swanee, you know they're going to be going up against one of the most consistent defenses in the USFL. Now, my question to you, Roman, how do you attack it?
Well, I tell you, Tim, they're so doggone consistent, and they don't really give you too many different looks, that they just sit back and play real good organized defense against you, and you have to not turn the ball over. We turned it over down there, and that hurt us and probably cost us the game. But everybody you see play them, they do the same thing, so they've got a great defensive team.
Now, I know you say it takes 60 to 70 snaps to win this football game. To do that, of course, you have to alleviate the turnovers and hold on to the football. Be candid now. Tell us what we can look for in the first couple of series out of your offense.
We're going to go after them basically the same way we did down there. We think that with our passing game, it's just like the running game, because John Walton is so good with the football that we can dump it out on the quick screen, hit our backs, possibly try to hit our tight ends a little bit earlier this time than we did last, because they were taking it away from us last game. And we're going to try to run the football and try to be consistent, try not to go for the big play and give anything up.
Okay, Roman, thank you very much. Back up to you, Keith.
All right, Tim, thanks very much. That sets the stage for a big ball game today. The Philadelphia Stars and the Boston Breakers from Boston. Jim Mora, head coach of the Philadelphia Stars, whose ball club has not lost a game since Tampa Bay did it to them in Philadelphia. They have won 8 in a row and in the position to clinch their title today. Dick Corey, who has the Boston Breakers righted some after they had staggered in the early going. And they need a win here today to stay in the hunt for a wild card spot. The 3 division champions plus the next best winning percentage by a non-championship team are the 4 clubs that will qualify for the USFL playoffs, which happen on July 9 and 10 with a championship game scheduled July 17 in Denver, Colorado. Philadelphia will kick off, and doing the returning for Boston will be number 38, Derek Hughes, and number 20, Woodrow Wilson. Derek Hughes joining the Boston Breakers late. He's a big rangy fellow from Michigan State. Woodrow Wilson has been doing most of the kick returning for them, and you can see that Woody is averaging right at 20 yards per kick return. The clouds are a bit low. We've had a little bit of a sprinkle of rain. Nothing heavy, certainly nothing like we had when we were here previously with the Oakland Invaders. The kickoff by Dave Trout is high in the air, and it goes to Wilson. Wilson from the 7-yard line comes one up across the 20 and takes it out to about the 27. There, the Boston Breakers will go to work behind Johnnie Walton at quarterback, 35 years of age, formerly the head coach at Elizabeth City State. Richard Crump and Tony Davis are the running backs. Charles Smith and Nolan Franz, the wide receivers, and Bo Koash will start at tight end. So the first play of the ball game, and the ball is marked just short of the 28-yard line. Walton pitches the ball out. It goes to Dennis Johnson. Johnson, a 235-pounder out of Mississippi State, hammers it around the left side, and he gets the better part of 6 yards on the carry. So they do not go to the air with the first play of the ball game. Up front, Boston lines up with Lewis Bullard, 280-pound tackle, Jerry Raymond, 265-pound guard, Mike Catalan, 255-pound center. It is Greg Horton at guard, 250 pounds. Mike McLaughlin is in there at center at 270, and Dan Hurley at 275. And it's second down, and let's say a short board for the Boston Breakers. Boston in the white uniforms, and Walton back to throw. Gets it away. The pass is complete to the tight end, Chris Holmes. And Holmes gets the first down for the Breakers as he reaches the 43.
Well, Boston comes out doing what they've done best, passing the ball after running the ball the first time, and they've got to really try and keep them off balance. If you take a look at the defense that they'll be going against, Brooks, Howard, Mills, and Bunting at the linebacker. Sam Mills, the man to watch, who leads this team in tackles. And of course, Gibson, Warner, Lush, and Sutton have all combined for 25 interceptions.
First down for the Breakers, just over their own 43. They play on the artificial surface here at Nickerson Field. Walton Richard Crump, the 200-pounder out of Northeast Oklahoma, gets across the 45. Then he is tumbled back. They'll give his advance up to about the 47. Glenn Howard, a rookie out of Minnesota playing inside linebacker, hit him hard. The officials for the ball game today. The referee is Tommy Miller, the umpire Tony Kramer, head linesman Stuart Ross, line judge Tony Viteri, back judge Mike Looney, and the field judge is Bill Schmitz. It is second down and 7. You've got 3 wide people on the field now, 3 wide receivers as Walton drops the pass. Walton's only been sacked 4 times. That one should have been picked off. Certainly could have been picked off by Antonio Gibson, the cornerback, as he was exactly in the right place. But he just simply didn't hold on to it as Charles Smith was sealed off.
Antonio Gibson is easily the best cornerback on that field, and he should be very active in this ball game today.
First play of the ball game, Herschel Walker, big run, 83 yards. New Jersey gets out on top of Washington 7-0. New Jersey trading the quarterback Bobby Scott over to Chicago this past week. I presume Jeff Knapple is in at quarterback for them now. It is third down at about 7 for Boston at their own 47. Philadelphia with a nickel defense in there as Walton goes to the air again, and the pass is incomplete. He threw into double coverage that time. The pass intended for Louis Jamona, who had come in at a wide receiver position working out of the slot back. And so Boston now on fourth down will have to punt it. And Philadelphia that time had red shirts all over Johnnie Walton's catchers.
They sure did. The last 2 downs, on second and third down, they put in 5 defensive backs as Boston went to 3 wide receivers. And possessing the football, trying to get some points on the first drive should have been an important goal for the Boston Breakers because they were so far behind in the first half of the first game against Philadelphia.
Casarino in to do the punting for Boston. He stands 6'7", weighs 240, booms it out of there. It's a beautiful kick, averaging just under 40, and he knocks that one all the way through the end zone. That was a 53-yard punt with 12 minutes and 27 seconds to play in the first quarter. The Philadelphia Stars will get the football for the first time. Offensive unit for Philadelphia, familiar names: Chuck Fusina, quarterback; Kelvin Bryant, the I-back; Booker Russell, the blocking back; Willie Collier, Scott Fitzke wide, and Steve Folsom, the tight end. Fitzke finally shaking off nagging little injuries and getting back in there as the starter, but we'll see Tom Donovan a lot today as well. And so they come up with trips to the left side, bottom of the picture, 3 wide, send one in motion. That's the tight end. Give the ball to Kelvin Bryant, who's been their main weapon, and Kelvin is out for 10, 11 yards and a first down on his first carry of the ball game. Kelvin Bryant, of course, is second only to Herschel Walker in rushing, and Herschel has just broken an 83-yard touchdown, so Kelvin needs a big run today, a big game today to stay in the hunt. You see the right side of the Philadelphia line. That's where Chuck Comiskey and Irv Eatman work, and they are tough. Eatman and Comiskey weighing 280 apiece. Double tight end alignment now for Philadelphia on first down from the 31. Bryant again cuts it back inside, gets it up to the 35. The offensive front for Philadelphia, one of the main strengths of the ball club. Brad Oates, a tackle, 6'6", 275. Rich Garza, 6'1", 260 at guard. Bart Oates is 265 pounds at center. Comiskey and Eatman we told you about, and Steve Folsom, 6'4", 230, and Ken Dunnick, the other tight end, is 6'6", 240. It's second down and 6. First pass of the day by Chuck Fusina. Oh, what a grab by Fitzke. Couldn't hold on to it, but he sure made a gallant try.
Oh, just a little bit of glue in those hands. That's where, if Stickum were allowed in football, that catch might have been made. He comes down the field. He gets way up in the air, almost has a great one-handed catch, and would have had it not been for the hit right here. Loses it on the way down. Great effort. Comes up a little short. Woodrow Wilson was the man that came in, made the tackle.
The ball sits just over the 35, where it is third down and 6 for Philadelphia. No score first quarter. Fusina's pass is incomplete. He tried to stick that one in between 2 defenders for Fitzke, and he couldn't do it. He had Collier short. Willie was not past the yard marker. He elected to try for Fitzke and couldn't get it in there. And Joe Restic, one of those that knocked the ball away. So here's Sean Landetta in now, averaging just over 40 yards per punt. The last time we saw Philadelphia, Mr. Landetta was very effective. Played a prominent role in the ball game.
Kept back in Chicago up, gave them poor field position throughout the game when they couldn't move the ball offensively.
Good kick out of there, and he runs Wilson all the way back to his 14-yard line. He gets away from one. But that one came back to get him, climbed right up his back. Mark McKentz, the hot man for Philadelphia on the special teams. It's a 50-yard punt by Sean Landetta. I call Mark McKentz the hot man. That simply means that he is generally the first man downfield, that he just literally enjoys risking life and limb.
As you saw right there, he just beat his man with speed, was able to come in, initiate a tackle, didn't make it the first time around. As a running back, hesitated, tried to put on the moves. He came back, made the tackle. You have to have a lot of desire to go down on those special teams.
Ball is on the Boston 19, first down for the Breakers. No score, first quarter. Richard Crump, the lone remaining back for the Breakers. He's got the ball, and he's got a hole up the middle. And he breaks it for a first down, out to the 35. John Brooks brought him down, and Mike McLaughlin and Greg Horton were key people in the middle of the line.
Well, he said Richard Crump will have to have a good day in order for this Boston offense to be able to do all it's capable of. Here, he just gets some great blocking in front. They walled everybody to the outside. He cuts back. Now he's making that defense play a little bit more honest. They've got to respect the running game if he establishes it.
Tony Davis is in now at fullback. He's the lone remaining back. And Walton puts it in the air, and it's knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Number 59 stuck his hand up. John Bunting and slapped it down.
The old call. They teach him to rush, keep one hand free so you can grab a running back if he slips by you, or get a hand up in the passer's face. That time, low pass, he was able to get it up. He was going for a quick screen, a little short hitch pass to his wide receiver on the outside, but John Bunting has too much experience on the play.
Second down and 10, 34-yard line of Boston. Crump is back in, the lone remaining back. Got the ball. Bounces off the stack, turns in a fine run. Close to a first down. There's no place to go off tackle, so he just bounced on outside. He picked up about 9 yards.
Crump did a great job. Bunting had a shot at him. He made him miss, and the rest of it was just his sheer strength and ability to keep his balance and stay up. Right there, he gets by Bunting. Right there, no one grabs him. They just hit him. In this league, in professional football, if you want to stop a running back, it's not good enough just to run into him and expect your strength to knock him down. That time, he had enough leg strength and body strength to stay up, bounce off, and pick up an extra yards.
Two fullbacks are in, Tony Davis and Dennis Johnson. Johnson, the bigger of the men. He has the ball, sticks his helmet. He's got a first down. The ball may have come loose. Philadelphia claiming it. And Philadelphia's got it. Boston turns it over. Johnson had his first down, but when he took the lick from the inside, that looked like Bunting had come back to the inside. And John came out of there with a ball. I don't know who it was that knocked it loose. Might have been O'Farr, might have been Fielder, might have been Mills.
Well, that's the same kind of mistake that hurt Boston in the first game. Only their own mistakes put them behind in that first game.
Kelvin Bryant now as Philadelphia tries to get something going with good field position. They start from the Boston 46. Bryant turns it down to about the 41.
Talked about Philadelphia being a strong physical football team, and Kelvin Bryant, when he gets behind that offensive line, will take advantage of that. They will try and wear down that Boston defense. Dick Curry knows that, and he's trying to stop that running game and force Philadelphia into the air. What we've seen again, it's been sacked 41 times so far in the season.
Second down and 5 from the 41. Bryant. They've got him right about the line of scrimmage. They stunt on the defensive defensive left side, and they make it work. As the Breakers line up this way defensively, and the man who led that defensive surge was Jeff Gaylord, the nose tackle. Darrell Wilkerson and Larry McClain outside of him. Linebackers are Needham, Marek, Brewington, Phillips, and your secondary, Wilson, Harbison, Restic, and Lindell Jones. Emil Carter not out there. Apparently an injury and not able to make the start. Third down, call it 4. This is caught behind the line of scrimmage, and it'll bring up a 4th down. Fighting his way in to make the play, Larry McClain out of Western Carolina.
Sack number 42. That's the kind of pressure that the Boston Breakers would like to keep on him all day long. Force him in the passing game, then force the mistakes, stopping the drive, and then being able to convert that drive or that good defensive effort into some points and field position.
Jamona and Wilson are the deep people now as Landeta comes in. First kick today, a 50-yard kick. Hangs that one up for Wilson, calls fair catch, comes up and accepts it at the 14-yard line. And so Boston stops Philadelphia. They get the football back at the 14. It was a 28-yard punt by Landeta. 8:02 first quarter. Breakdown of the Boston Breakers offense up to this point of the season with a record of 7-5, going against Philadelphia. The Stars 11-1. They beat Boston in Philadelphia 23-16. That game went to the final seconds before it was settled. Now Johnnie Walton sets him up on the 14, first down. Tony Davis, the lone remaining back. Walton will put it up. He's only been sacked 4 times this season. Goes to the short man, Davis. Looping out of the backfield, and the pass was a little high.
Number 25, Scott Warner, came up and met his counterpart, number 25, Tony Davis. Tony Davis should have had that particular catch. And again, that's when you look at the Boston Breaker offense, we've seen already 4 different formations trying to create the matchups or the mismatches. And that time he had Tony Davis on the safety. It should have been complete. Moved him in a better position.
Johnny has now missed 4 in a row. Dennis Johnson is in there at the fullback position now. Second down and 10 Boston. No score first quarter. Walton again. This time he goes to Johnson. Johnson gets a little help on the corner and comes out for a first down. That's a good tough run by Dennis Johnson.
Very good run. And he got some great blocking by Charlie Smith and the rest of the guys. It's a screen all the way, and when it's set out, the offensive line is just creating a wall to the outside, as you saw it there just to the left of the screen. He gets some more help down the sideline, and he's able to pick up enough for a first down.
Big Dan Hurley, number 62, the 275-pounder out of Nebraska. He's out in front of it. The ball is just over the 25. Now the Breakers have a little more breathing room. Goes to Davis, and Davis is up to the 30. Give him 4. Sam Mills, the tackle for Philadelphia.
Sam Mills, the little man who's been so active, leads that defense, gets him emotionally up for ball games. He's everywhere on the football field, and he'll be tailing Richard Crump in passing situations, and that should be a pretty good matchup to look for throughout the ball game.
Second down and 6 for the Breakers. Davis out, Crump in. Crump's got it, fumbles the ball, and has to cover it for a loss of 2 yards.
Well, so far in 3 possessions for the Boston Breakers, they fumbled the ball twice, lost it 1 time, almost threw an interception, and it's very reminiscent of that first half again that we saw. The mistakes hurting themselves, not executing, maybe just a little bit too tense and uptight with the pressure on them in this ballgame.
Quite obvious that Richard Crump was looking for somewhere to run, and he didn't look the ball into his possession. Now they go with 3 wide receivers. Smith, Lockett, Frank. Nickel defense for Philadelphia. Third down and 7. Blitz is on. Walton back. They pick up the blitz. Throws the ball to Dennis Johnson, and again, a Boston running back isn't concentrating. The ball just slips away from him as he was looking again for some place to run with the ball, and it brings up 4th down.
Now that time they were trying to set up the screen. Johnnie Walton will come back to look to his right, fake it there a little bit, give the lineman time to run out. And right there, the ball wasn't in his hands, and he was turning downfield. Had some pretty good blocking there, too.
Scott Werner is deep. Casarino in the punt. He's out of the University of Washington. First kick is 53 yards. Some pressure. Werner comes up, catches the ball at the 35, goes to the 42. Always try to catch that football if you can. Playing on this artificial surface, it'll roll forever if you don't. It was a 37-yard punt. Philadelphia has it in good field position. We've got 5:38 to play in the first quarter. Johnnie Walton standing there talking to Dick Corey, general manager and coach of the Boston Breakers. On the other side, Jim Morrow sends his offense now out on the field in a scoreless ball game. Three wide people with Kelvin Bryant, the I-back. Yusina back to throw. Goes over the middle, short to Bryant. And Bryant is wrestled down after he picks up about 7. Yusina was looking deep, but the deep people were well covered. Bryant had just drifted through the line and was available.
Just underneath the drop of the linebackers. Both teams now so far on offense have gone away from their strength. Both teams trying to establish a little bit more power in their weakest element in their offensive game to keep the other team's defense off balance, but neither one having a great deal of success.
Alan Harvin is in at the I-back now to get a warm-up, carrying the ball into the middle, takes a wallop. Got something out of it after being hit very hard right about the line of scrimmage. And the guy who really hit him was Mike Brewington, 6'4", 225 out of East Carolina. Brewington has come on to play very well over the last 5 ball games for Boston. Bryant is back now. Harvin leads at the tailback or I-back position for Philadelphia. The Stars are running about a 31% clip on third down conversions for the season. You're looking at third and 1.5 yards here. Ball snapped at midfield. Bryant turns the corner with it and gets a first down and then some, as he gets it to the 43 of Boston.
Again, Vic Comiskey out in front making a good block on the play. Number 32, Booker Russell, the fullback, getting a block on the outside, opening the holes for Kelvin Bryant. Right there, he's got all kinds of room, but picks up the first down and a few more yards. Vic Comiskey.
Or is it Carl Peterson said when he called Chuck and asked him if he wanted to play football in Philadelphia, he said, "My pickup is loaded. I'll be there tomorrow." Bryant again on first down. And Kelvin runs into a stack. Number 56, Marcus Merrick, and number 73, Larry McLean. Here's Tim Brent.
Thanks, Keith. Johnny's already thinking about the next Boston series. Johnny just talked to the coach, Dick Corey. What was said?
Well, we just have to hold on to the football. We have had people open, and, they just haven't concentrated far enough to get the ball in their hands before they make a move up the field. I think if we narrow down on those type of things, we'll move the football.
Are they showing you anything unusual?
No, basically they're showing us everything that we have expected through film study. They did come in one giant blitz, a safety blitz. Now we are ready for it.
Okay, Keith.
Terry, second down, 8. Ball at the 42. Slip it off inside to Booker Russell. And Booker, who fundamentally spends his day knocking people around, carries the ball and moves it to the 38 for about 4 yards.
Philadelphia with the 3 wide receivers just trying to create a feeling of a pass about to be thrown. Gave it to him quickly up the middle to try and take advantage of having the defense spread out. And it's good enough for about 4 yards. So we now have third and a long 4.
Meaning it's about 4.5. Yusina back to throw it. They give him all day. Dives for the marker, and he hit the chalk out of bounds, right about the line of scrimmage. So he is short of the first down. As he tried to turn it down the sidelines, he hit the boundary.
That time, there was a secondary of Boston that provided great coverage, blanketing all the receivers, not giving Ficini anyone to throw to. He had 4 people on the rush. They contained him very well, kept him inside the pocket. Then he was able to escape, but the pressure forces him out of bounds. That time, give the credit to the secondary for the great coverage.
The ball sitting at the 38-yard line. That's a little bit out of David Trout's range, so Landetta comes in to do the punting. Sean, 50-yarder and a 28-yarder, but the 28-yarder was effective enough because Boston had the fair catch it back at the 14.
Those short punts don't do a lot for yardage, but when it's inside the 20, they do wonders for field position and winning ball games.
And Boston again showing the capacity to turn it over. They fumbled it twice. They're going to get nailed 5 yards for taking too much time.
Well, that time, because they had less than 5 yards to go for a first down, they tried to draw the Boston defense off sides, but it didn't work, and they take the
play. Number 7, 4th down.
In case you all wonder where Tom is from, I found out he's from Johnson City, Tennessee.
Johnson City, Tennessee. Well, that's my neck of the woods.
Born, yeah.
Just outside of Knoxville, a little town called Alcoa.
Jamona and Wilson are deep. For Landetta now, as he stands back near his 43, he'll hit it up around the 46. Good snap. High hanger. Kicks back to the sidelines and tumbles out of bounds. And once again, Landetta has it out of bounds inside the 20, or has killed the ball inside the 20. Boston will have it first down at their own 17. You've got 1 minute and 56 seconds to play in the first quarter of a scoreless game. Johnnie Walton, close look at him as he sets him up, calling the signals now, trying to get something going for the Boston Breakers. Your comment, Lynn Swan, was Philadelphia's flat, Boston's tight.
Very flat. Boston's tight. I think that's why they're turning the ball over and not concentrating. Philadelphia's just playing flat. Probably thinking too much about the win and sewing up their division and the champagne.
Walton gives the ball to Richard Crump. Crump losing his footing as he gets to the line of scrimmage. He may have a yard out of that carry. With 1 minute and 45 seconds remaining in the first quarter, we understand George Matthews down. He is the owner, principal owner of the Boston Breakers. Feeling poorly. Some kind of flu, I guess. George, we hope you're up out of that bed and come on. The ball club playing well. Double wide to the bottom of the picture. The third man is at the top of the picture. And they're all Flyers as Walton works out of the shotgun, gives the ball to Dennis Johnson. Johnson delays for a moment, trying to find some place to go. But in so doing, coming up out of the secondary, Roger Jackson, Scott Werner, Mike Lush, and the outside linebackers on that side, Mills and Brooks.
He kind of got tied up with his center, number 53, Mike McLaughlin, and he just couldn't get away. They tried to draw, didn't work right here. Oh, excuse me, that was number 72. Louis Bouillard, who was in his way, and frankly, he was just probably dropping back to give pass. His man didn't rush, and he was standing there flat on his feet and in the way.
So it's third down and about 9. High snap out of the shotgun, but Walton gets it away to Davis, and that, folks, is a hit by Mr. Sam Mills.
Hello, number 54. Little man, Sam Mills. You see he's got his glasses on. He doesn't like to wear contacts, so he wears those protective glasses under his helmet. And Johnnie Walton can't be too happy at this moment with the performance of the offensive team. Again, the defense of Philadelphia is not really stopping them. They're stopping themselves.
If Scott Werner handles it cleanly, and he normally does, Philadelphia will again have good field position. Kick is out of there by Casarino, and it's a dandy. Werner back at the 26. And he comes all the way back to the 42. So he returns the ball 16 yards. Tim Smith brings him down. It's a 49-yard punt by Casarino. First quarter is over. And we have no score after one period of play at Nickerson Field, Boston University.
Well, you can see statistically not much going on for either side. Neither team being very productive, with Boston having control of the ball for 8 minutes and 27 seconds. A good 2 minutes more in this ball game, but again, their own mistakes have stopped them from getting out of bad field position and putting points on the scoreboard.
First down, Philadelphia, call it their own 42.
Get on him.
Ball goes to Kelvin Bryant, and Bryant shakes away from a stack in the middle. Now they knock him down. His initial surge was to the line of scrimmage. Boston trying to claim the football as they wrestled it away from Bryant, but they won't give it to him. Charles Harbison, number 42, was a raging tiger in there.
Well, the defense was fired up this time, and Kelvin Bryant, usually his second effort, will net him some yardage. This time his second effort only netted him about 3 more hits, and he should try and avoid as many of those as possible.
Second down and 10. Yusino will put it up. Goes the short way for Harmon. It is a forward pass, and it is incomplete.
Number 73, Larry McClain, was all over the back that time. Good coverage by the defense, and he read the screen perfectly. Followed the back out of the backfield like a little shadow. Yusino could only do one thing, that was throw it over his head, or else it would have been intercepted by the big man. Of course, it might have taken him about 3 minutes to run 40 yards for a touchdown.
Nickel defense comes in on third down and 10 for Philadelphia. Neither offense particularly productive so far in the ball game, as we are just into the second quarter of play. And from high on one of the buildings at BU, we'll look down on it as Yusino goes to the air over the middle. Fitzke, and he hits him. And Fitzke is down at around the Boston 42 for a Philadelphia first down.
Fitzke did a good job. They're playing a zone, and right there he just cuts right behind the safety. He's dropping back rustic in the zone, makes a nice little catch, takes a hit, but not too bad. Fitzke coming back after having a hamstring injury. This is his first start in about 3 weeks, I guess.
So the Stars are working now from the Boston 42, a record of 11-1, and can clinch the division title today. Give it a Bryant. Wilkerson, a big guy out of Houston, one of Bill Yeoman's players, and Kelvin Bryant is hurt. Getting up very slowly. And is hobbling. Right ankle or knee. He's leaving the game.
You can see right there on his right leg a little extra padding on his knee. Darrell Wilkinson, he's a man on the inside. He reads Irv Eatman pulling right there and shoots right up the middle and makes a play on Kelvin Bryant. Good read on Darrell's part, and he hobbles off the field a little bit.
Loss of 8 yards, back to midfield. Second down, 18. Yusino missed the handoff, has to eat it, and a loss back to the 48. Alan Harmon seemed to be the man for whom the ball was intended. By the time Charlie got there, Allen was gone.
Well, he looked like he was trying to get to the outside to hand the ball off. Of course, at that, Alan Harmon wasn't even looking for the ball. He came off the block. May not have understood to realize he was going to get it. Alan Harmon coming in for Kelvin Bryant, who is a very talented running back, works hard, and Jim Morris said he doesn't worry at all when Alan Harmon's in the ball game because he produces for him.
So it is third down and 20. Philadelphia from their own 48. Yusino goes short with it, and Harmon drops it.
Production's off today. Harmon doesn't get the handoff the first time around, then what should have been a sure catch, he lets it go right through his hands. I'll tell you, a little fired up defensive play by the Boston Breakers, and they stopped this team cold. Now it's up to their offense to try and get a little momentum going on their side.
Landetta to punt. Jamona and Wilson are deep for Boston. Tight great spin on the ball as it hits at the goal line and goes through the end zone. And so the Boston Breakers, after a 51-yard punt by Landeta, will own the football first down at their own 20. No score, 12 minutes to go first half. Kelvin Bryant has a slight sprain of the right ankle. He was wrestled down by Darrell Wilkerson, twisting it apparently, and they're retaping it. He's carried 8 times for 23 yards. He was 50 yards behind Herschel Walker in the rushing derby in the league before kickoff today. We know that Herschel has already broken one for 83. High back, Richard Crump. Fullback, Tony Davis. Man in motion, Chris Combs. Johnnie Walton going to throw it. Zips it in there. Good to France. Up at the 35. Goes ahead to the 37. First down. And for the first time today, Walton really zinged the ball.
He sure did, and he zinged it to his number 1 receiver, Nolan Franz, out of Tulane. He's the man that comes up with the clutch catches for him when he needs them. Simple little hook route, little play action pass to keep the linebackers at home a little bit more so you can get the ball over their heads right there. Throws it to the outside. Number 23, Antonio Gibson, is there to make the tackle but not stop the play from being complete.
Anthony Steele is in at the I-back position, number 33. He's out of Nebraska. Played wingback for Tom Osborne. Pump fake over the middle and incomplete. And the pass intended for the tight end, Chris Combs. And again, if Combs had turned his head to look for the ball a little sooner, he would have caught it because Walton put it in exactly the perfect place to put it.
He sure did. He just came down there, a little fake on Walton's part. Combs went down, split the corner and the safety, and trying to get downfield into the open seam. He had his head, bent down, straight ahead, just didn't turn around and look for the ball. Couldn't gauge it, couldn't judge it to make the catch.
Second down and 10, Boston from their own 37. Swing it out. Dennis Johnson. Nothing there for Johnson.
That time the defense just read it perfectly. The entire defensive line was running out with the screen and had it covered. No place to go.
It'll be third down and still close to 10 yards. Now they've got all the quick people in there. Smith, Lockett, Franz, Jamona, taking out the tight end. Out of the shotgun. Now got 5 people to consider as possible receivers. He goes for Franz and overthrows him. Covering on the play, Roger Jackson of Penn State. And Franz really had no chance.
He had no chance at all. Franz wanted to get to the outside of Roger Jackson, the cornerback, but Jackson did a good job forcing him inside, and he had help from the safety coming over in that deep zone.
Dario Casarino. Fourth punt, 53-37-49 on his first 3. Got some heat on him that time. He gets it out of there. And Werner has no chance at a return as the ball bounces up and kicks dead right around the 30. It was a 33-yard punt with the pressure. And 10:13 to go in the first half.
They're working on Kelvin Bryant's ankle right now, Keith. They have put a pad on both sides of it. He's tried to walk. His shoe is off. It is very painful. He just said that he doesn't know if he'll be back in the ball game. It does not look to be a sprained ankle. Maybe a deep bruise right above the ankle. Nonetheless, they continue to work on it.
All right, Tim. Well, sitting on with an 11-1 record. 5 games to play after this. We may not see it. First down for Philadelphia. The ball is at their own 29. And the ball off to Booker Russell. Fumbles the football, and Philadelphia covers it out at the 46. Brad Oates, the big tackle from BYU, jumped on it.
And he picked up about 3 yards on the fumble recovery. Good run this time by Booker Russell. Just takes the ball up the middle and using his powers, getting some good blocking there. And right there, the ball stripped from him. Perfect opportunity for Boston to jump on and get field position, which they haven't had all day, but the opportunistic offensive line of Philadelphia is there to recover it.
And first down at the 46. Timeout. Lucina looked around, didn't have the alignment that he had called for. Looks to the sidelines and calls timeout. He also had only 4 seconds remaining on the clock. So he spends a timeout with 9:37 to play in the first half. Score in that New Jersey-Washington game. Jeff Napple, succeeding Bobby Scott at quarterback, has hit Mike Freedy from 27 yards. Dave Betts has kicked a field goal. So the Generals making some personnel changes. Washington scoring, coming on 2 field goals by Vitiello. Herschel Walker broke an 83-yarder for a touchdown the first play of the ball game as Fusina goes down the middle for Donovan. And Tom Donovan, who played with Fusina and Fitzke at Penn State, pulls it down at the Boston 34. A big gain for the Stars.
It's a big game for the Stars, and Donovan's limping off the field. The middle of that field is wide open. As you see right there, good picture of how open you can get when you spread out a zone defense and you run into that open area. Donovan here, no move, just reading the defense, curls it in, gets down low, makes a good catch before he's hit and called down at about the 34-yard line.
Inside they go. Booker Russell carries. And the confidence builder is good for about 6-7 yards.
I said that the Philadelphia team was playing flat. In my opinion, when a team plays flat and you want to get them up, instead of going to the guys like Kelvin Bryant and Fitzke, the guys always come through for you if they're not playing well, hand the ball off to Booker Russell. He's a guy who's been there, and his primary job is to block all the time, so he has a little bit more aggressiveness, a little bit more eager to carry the ball. Might be able to get the rest of the team up and back into this ball game.
Second down and 3. Fusina looking. Nobody. Out of bounds. Penalty flag. They hit him out of bounds. So that'll cost him a personal foul. Joe Restic. Joe got him a little late.
Fusina obviously running to the sideline to get out of bounds, trying to avoid the loss or getting hit. Just shouldn't have been hit right there. You see a little blocking there. He screens off his man. Now the chase is on. Right here, Fusina's headed right towards the sideline and just shoved unnecessarily out of bounds. And that's the reason for the flag.
He missed Billy Edwards, our man on the sidelines, by just barely. Hang in there, Billy. They'll get you yet.
Go. Those people on the sidelines have to have quick feet. The photographers, Billy Edwards, and all the media that's on those sidelines. You get points, bonus points.
Personal foul. Late hit out of bounds. First down.
Referee Tommy Miller defining it. And that moves Philadelphia now down in scoring territory. First down at the Boston 14. Very deep penetration. Looks like he's checking off. Changing the play. He's looking for Fitzke. Somebody hit him from behind, forced him to change, and he goes the other way, and the pass is incomplete, intended for Willie Collier. If he had not been bumped, I think he would have been able to hit Fitzke for the touchdown, but Woodrow Wilson, a cornerback, came in and grabbed him from the back.
Came in, grabbed him from the... He hit the ball, knocked it away from the intended receiver, and number 59 was Ben Needham, who came in, and linebacker on the pursuit was able to grab Fusina just a little bit there. As you watch,
Fitzke's going to be open here.
Fitzke's getting inside the corner and going the outside. Now he's covered there. Now with all this scrambling, everybody flows to the opposite side, so he's alone. Fusina didn't have enough time to look that way.
Second down 10. It's Harbin. That's it back inside the 10, gets to the 8-yard line. He got 6 yards on that carry. With the work of the Philadelphia offensive front, a running back, an I-back, with that much room, the 7 yards to work and read, they can do a lot of things. Now, he ran a good 7 yards to his left before he decided to come back the other way. But that line is so good, they can have that time. It's a luxury.
And one man can be making a great block. The other guy's just walling off some people, and that back has time to read it and see where the hole is going to open up and take advantage of it. Probably a person who did that better than anybody I've ever seen was O.J. Simpson in Buffalo.
Wasn't too bad at USC either. Timeout called by Philadelphia with 7 minutes and 21 seconds. A little bit of a mix-up, or a misunderstanding at least, as Chuck Bucina wants to go to the sidelines and talk with the coaching staff to make sure they've got the right sequence of plays. Philadelphia now with 1 timeout remaining here in the first half at 7:21 to go.
Well, Chuck Bucina was out talking to Jim Morrow, but the game's just really beginning for him here in the second period. He's got to try and convert this drive into a touchdown after conferring with Jim Morrow on the sidelines.
Third down, 3 for a first down. Ball is on the Boston 8. Boston defense has played very well. On the throw. Got a problem. He's down. Back at the 18. Tommy Miller, the minute contact was made by the defensive player on Bucina, the quarterback, the defensive player being Jeff Gaylord, big guy out of Missouri. He blew that whistle bang right there.
Well, some of the coaches have been complaining that the whistle hasn't been blowing soon enough to protect quarterbacks. That time it was. Chuck Bucina was looking for Willie Collier on that play, on a little quick out and up. But as soon as he turned upfield, he was hit by the cornerback, and the play was just stopped cold.
It'll be a 35-yard field goal try by Dave Trout. He's 5 out of 9 from this distance this season. Jim Cron holds it, and Trout hits it, and hooks it just inside the uprights. Good. And so at 6 minutes and 42 seconds to play in the first half, we finally get some scoring as Philadelphia takes a 3-0 lead. Dave Trout will tee it up and kick off from the 35 after kicking a 35-yard field goal to give Philadelphia a 3-0 lead. Keith Jackson, Lynn Swan, Tim Brandt, you're watching on ABC. This the 13th week of the United States Football League. Philadelphia Stars, record of 11-1, trying to win here today in Boston and clinch the Atlantic Division title. That kickoff is hooked toward the corner and kicked into the end zone. And it'll be Boston's ball, first down, out at the 20. And again, Dave Trout knocks it beyond the reach of the returners and forces the receiving team to start at the 20.
Dave Trout, college Pittsburgh. I'll call it the South American connection. He grew up in Bolivia. His parents were missionaries, and that's where he actually began kicking. Down in South America. And of course, Tim Mazzetti is from Brazil, who is the kicker for the Boston Breakers.
I understand his dad's quite ill. He was down in Brazil last week. First down for the Breakers. And that's Dennis Johnson trying to get around the corner. And he gets a good hit from number 27, Mike Lush. Free safety.
Dennis Johnson got some good blocking to the outside, but Mike Lush did an excellent job coming up from the safety position to close the play down, so he picks up only 4 yards on the play. You see right here, they wall off the defensive line. They cut him down. Right there, Mike Lush comes up and supports very well and gets a little help there from John Sutton.
Call it a 3-yard pickup as Anthony Steele comes in now. At the eye back, Steele has the ball. Anthony is a speedster, but when there are trees falling on you, it's hard to run.
Sure, Sam Mills made the tackle, but the man responsible for turning that play back around was number 94, Dave Ofar, who got inside and just forced it inside physically by defeating his man.
Big number,
offensive lineman.
Big number 66 you're seeing on your picture is Brad Anai, who has been activated. He's a 250-pounder out of BYU, one of Lavelle Edwards' players. Boston 0 for 5 today and converting third down plays. They're looking at 4 yards here. Out of the shotgun. Knocks the ball upfield to Johnson, threw it behind him. So Dennis Johnson not able to come up with it again, and once more, the Boston offense is unproductive.
Well, that time, Antonio Gibson, number 23, came in on a blitz, and like Johnnie Walton said, they didn't expect the blitz early. They picked it up. He laid the ball out. Number 39, Dennis Johnson, and Dennis Johnson again not coming up with the catch.
Casarino in to punt, averaging just under 43 yards on 4 kicks. And Scott Warner, the deep man.
He's awful deep at 45 yards from the line of scrimmage.
Sure is. Won't be able to catch that one, and it takes a sidewise bounce and now rolls on downfield a little bit. So it's going to roll dead back around the 33. 41-yard punt with 4:55 to go first half.
Well, the rule of thumb for a punt returner is to line up about 40 yards from the line of scrimmage, unless he knows exactly how this punter is going to do, how he's going to kick. And that time he was just too far back to make the fair catch to get up and make the play. As you see, Kelvin Bryant, number 44, now coming back into the starting lineup.
They've restrapped the ankle, a bruise above the ankle. It's not a sprain. Got some protection around it. And they go to work from the 33. Esposito throws, and it is slapped down. Ben Needham could have had that one. He stuck up one hand, and the ball slithered away from him. Olson was back there, but Ben Needham has 3 interceptions, and one of those, if you remember, one moment for Ben Needham was in the opening game, I guess it was, at Denver, when he came up with a block kick and took off and scored a touchdown.
That time he made a fine play just knocking the ball down, and they don't teach linebackers to reach out there with 2 hands and make the tough catch.
Bryant carries. Breaks it out of there. And Kelvin reaches the 40 for 7 yards.
Keith, I don't know how Kelvin Bryant got out. Looked like he was surrounded and just slithered in between 2 would-be tacklers from Boston downfield and make a good run of it. From here, he just looked trapped. Let's see if we can see just how Kelvin Bryant gets away from these tacklers. He takes the ball right there. Oh, good blocking right there. People were lying down. You couldn't see it from the angle we had here until they got downfield, and no help there. Nothing but white jerseys.
3rd and 3 from the 40. Yusina goes to his tight end, Folsom. And Folsom is going to be right up around the marker. He had to get it to just short of the 44, or beyond the 33. He's close to his first down. Joe Resnick had a good hit on him.
Yes, he did. He was wide open, too. He just came out, ran a little short route there to the outside, and nobody was on him.
They stopped the clock at 3:49. Coming up at halftime, an interview with Craig Morton, whose first game as head coach of the Denver Gold was a success on Friday night. We'll also talk to Bob Caporal, president of the Boston Breakers, about the rumor of this franchise being moved. It is a first down for Philadelphia by the length of the football. So Folsom knew where he was.
He had to go down on one knee to make the catch, and instead of giving ground to avoid one tackler, or trying to avoid that one tackler, he held his ground, and the ball was marked where the contact was made.
And all kinds of happenings going on in the city of Boston this past week. Harry Mangurian saying that he's going to sell the Celtics. And of course, Bill Fitch resigned. There's a lot of noise around here this past week. That's Bryant. Nothing doing this time. He's going to lose some. He ran right into outside linebacker Ray Phillips. And Phillips just stood up. 28-year-old, 5-year NFL veteran out of Nebraska. Held his ground.
Ray Phillips did a good job just turning the play inside, holding his ground. I thought Kelvin Bryant misread that play to a certain degree. I thought he should have turned it upfield, and maybe he's concentrating a little bit on that ankle of his and doesn't really want to cut too hard on it.
Breakdown on the Philadelphia offense so far in this ball game. They lead 3-0 on a 35-yard field goal by Dave Trout. On 2nd and 11, it's Snitsky with a catch, and he reaches the Boston 37 for a Philadelphia first down.
Oh, Scott Fitzke doing a good job working inside those zones. You've seen it, reading it very, very well. As we said, the passing game of Philadelphia is not its strong point, but they're going to stay in this ball game and get some more points. The way they're running the ball right now, looks like their passing game is going to have to come alive and bear more of the burden in this particular game.
In each instance in which Philadelphia has made the move downfield, it has been, if you've seen it, to Fitzke. That one is deflected, and the linebackers trying to reach it. Nobody could get to it. Merrick and Brewington, both of them trying to grab a hold of the batted football.
I don't know who tipped it. It might have been
Ernie Price.
Ernie Price.
Ernie Price, 68.
Seen him looking for the quick pass.
Yep.
No. Number 75, Darrell Wilkerson. Gets inside. On those quick passing plays, the offensive line has got to chop down those defensive linemen so they can't stand up. It's not a lofty pass he can throw.
Bryant throws it over the left side. That's good for 6, maybe 7, with 2 minutes to play in the first half. 2 minutes to go. Timeout is called. Philadelphia leads Boston by a score of 3-0. 2 minutes to go, first half of play. Philadelphia on the move now. They have the football, 3rd down and 4 yards to go. The ball is at the Boston 32. To that yard marker. Just depends on the mark as Marcus Merrick, the rookie out of Ohio State, jumped on him.
Keith, what Philadelphia is doing in their huddle on these 3rd down situations, as we take a look at a quote, cruising down the Charles River on Memorial Day weekend and enjoying the not so rainy afternoon. They have 12 people in that huddle. And what they're doing is at the last minute they're sending out either Folsom, the tight end, or they'll send out one of the wide receivers so that the Boston defense doesn't know whether it's 3 wide receivers or 2 wide receivers in the game.
4th and a yard. Fitzke in motion. Bryant with the ball. First down to the 25.
Kelvin's taking a little bit of punishment out there, but he gets up and bounces spryly back to the huddle. Not phased at all by the tackle made by number 52, Ray Phillips, and number 23, Lindell Jones.
Steve Folsom, Irv Eatman, and Booker Russell were the 3 blockers out in front of Bryant, enabling them to get it around the corner. And Gaylord makes contact, but it appears, let's see. Jeff's, of course, going to argue that Philadelphia man moved. It's going to go against Boston 5 yards.
Encouragement, number 71.
Well, Philadelphia is coming out of the huddle very quickly, trying to get the Boston defense before it has a chance to sack.
First and 5 from the 20 for the Stars. They lead 3-0. 57 seconds to play. That's Alan Harmon with the ball. Gets around the corner, turns it a big game as he goes to about the 8-yard line. It'll be first down and goal to go Philadelphia.
Once again, Alan Harmon substituting, coming in for Kelvin Bryant. Does a very, very good job. Again, running behind. What else? The right side of the offensive line. Good block right there by Booker Russell. Spring him to the outside. That's 3 carries now for 20 yards for Alan Harmon.
Booker played his college football for Jim Wacker down in Southwest Texas State. A lot of good ones come out of there. First and goal, Philadelphia. You've seen it, to throw it. Lost it into the corner. Folsom. And just off his fingertips. Defending Joe Restick, and Joe apparently tipped it just enough.
Joe caused a little confusion. Of course, Joe didn't look like he could get up too high to get his hand on that ball.
Well, they got a mismatch physically. Folsom 6'4", 230. Restic 6'2", 195.
Folsom just can't hang on to this one. He goes up, and he's way up in the air above Restic. Restic just caused a little break in the concentration, which was enough to have it go incomplete.
Bryant is back now, and they've got him lined up in a slot position on second down and goal. And the penalty flag goes down as the pass is caught in the end zone by Collier. And Kelvin Bryant put a lick on the blitzing man. He really picked him off.
Yeah, I don't know if he put a lick on him or it was just a collision.
It's going to be against Boston, apparently. Let's wait and see a moment.
Defensive pass interference. Touchdown.
Touchdown. All right. 9-0. Philadelphia. Pass play, 8 yards. Fusina to Collier.
Willie Collier just breaking quickly across the middle, reading this defense and giving Fusina someone to throw to. There you see Kelvin right there. You're right, Kelvin. Makes a good stick on the blitz there. Gives Fusina just enough time. Excellent catch by Willie Collier. Stretching his body out, hanging on to it. And he breaks the plane of the end zone.
South 25 out of 27 on extra points. Jim Cron out of Arizona holding. Nails it. With 40 seconds to go in the first half of play, Philadelphia Stars, and it's fundamentally the big play in each of the possessions that's resulted in Philadelphia's score has been Fusina to Fitzke.
Correct. The passing game, which they don't use very often. Of course, last week they opened the game up with a long pass to Willie Collier, trying to getting the Arizona team off balance. They did a good job there. Got to rely a little bit more on that passing game to take some pressure off Kelvin Bryant in the running game so that they just can't gang up on him. Jim Moore is an outstanding coach, and he knows the value of having a passing game to augment a running game. And I think he's trying to take this time to set that in motion for his offense.
40 seconds remaining as they come out to kick it away. Other games being played today. Los Angeles is at Oakland in that Pacific Division, and that's a big ball game because Los Angeles at 6-6, the leader, with Oakland only a game back at 5-7. They may have to go way down into the tiebreakers unless somebody can break out of that pack. The team, I think, with the toughest road from here on, though, might very well be Tampa Bay because they've got 6 games to play and 4 of them on the road, and they play in succession Michigan, Birmingham, Chicago, Boston, Denver, Birmingham. Not easy. High hanging kick. Out of the end zone comes Woodrow Wilson, a yard deep. And they slap him down up around the 17. So the clock shows 35 seconds to go in the first half. Games tomorrow night. Arizona will be at Chicago, and Tampa Bay will be playing at Michigan. And I would think that a lot of folks in the Detroit area might want to come back from their Memorial Day holiday a little early to see that ball game, Tampa Bay, Michigan.
That should be an exciting ball game. Michigan hot on Tampa Bay's track, knows a win would really put them in striking distance.
Out of the shotgun, Johnnie Walton. Over the middle it goes, complete to Tony Davis. Curls it back inside, trying to find some help.
Tony Davis lost a couple yards trying to find a little running room. Just turned it around, curled back, lost 2 yards on the play.
Second down and 4 with 14 seconds. They go short again. That'll stop the clock as he picks up the first down, what appears to be the first down. Louis Jamona with 4 seconds remaining. Boston running without a huddle now. Their third successive play. Clock stopping with the change to be moved if, in fact, they have the first down. And they do. 4
seconds left on that clock.
Just bump one of them.
We've got a busy halftime for you. As we told you, we're going to be talking with Craig Morton, the new coach of the Denver Gold, who's 1-0. And we're going to talk with Bob Caporell, the president of the Boston Breakers. I have a comment from Tim Brandt relative to what's been going on in Washington over the past few days with the Federals. Halftime score in that New Jersey-Washington game, the Generals 17. Washington now with 3 field goals from Vitiello for 9 points. So it's a 17-9 ball game there. Here it is 10-0 Philadelphia. And Boston with time for one more snap. And I guess if you've got a gimmick in the playbook, this is where you ought to try it.
It may be wasted because they'll be looking for everything except for your normal play.
3 center fielders here.
Again, Boston off to a very slow start. Their own mistakes put themselves in the hole.
Walton rears back and throws it just as far as he can, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Antonio Gibson. That ends the first half of play. There's a penalty flag down. Let's see about that. If it's on Boston, the half is over. If it's on Philadelphia, they'll get another play. Procedure, Boston, half's over. So at halftime, here at Nickerson Field, Boston University, alongside the Charles River, it's Philadelphia 10. Boston nothing. Philadelphia trying to clinch the Atlantic Division title. We'll be back for halftime after this message and a word from our local station. The halftime statistics in our ball game with Philadelphia leading by a score of 10-0.
Again, both these teams and their statistics are way off. Boston with the 2 turnovers and only 12 minutes in the ball game possession time compared to 17:58 to Philadelphia. Again, it's been a lack of offense by the Boston Breakers that has put them in the hole and down by 10 points after the half. As we take a look at the only real highlight in the first half, a pass from Chuck Fucina to Willie Collier. Great pass as he makes a diving catch into the end zone. The Penn State-Pitt connection there, if you will. Willie Collier doing a great job just getting away from coverage in a blitz. Kelvin Bryant, number 44, at the left of your screen, coming in to pick up the blitz. That gives Chuck Fucina the time to find Willie Collier right there as he extends himself to make the catch for the score. That puts them up by 10 points.
Prior to that time, Philadelphia's offense had been pretty much the tango, 1-2-3 kick. And they didn't get anything going of consequence until well into the second quarter when Fucina and Fitzke hooked up, and then he nailed Collier for the touchdown. Boston, on the other hand, has not had very good field position. The best field position for a start of a possession the Breakers have had so far in this first half, the 27-yard line. And they have turned it over twice. Of course, the second time they didn't mean anything because it was the closing play of the first half, and Antonio Gibson picked off a pass downfield. Tim Mazzetti will kick off, and Philadelphia will have the first possession as we go into the second half of play now. Philadelphia, remember, with a record of 11-1, if they win today, they will clinch the championship of the Atlantic Division and will be the first champions within the USFL. Boston needs the win to stay in the hunt for a wild card spot. And Mazzetti almost missed that punt. He just popped it straight up in the air as Booker Russell, the big fullback, comes upfield to accept it, well upfield, and returns it up to about the 30. Looked like Timmy hit the tee. Tee came flying up in the air.
You could tell by the arc of the ball the way it went way up in the air, and it didn't travel very far. He got too far underneath it, and indeed did kick the tee. The first time Tim Mazzetti has been on the field as his team, the Boston Breakers, haven't been close enough to use his services in the first half of the ball game.
So the ball is out near the 31 for Philadelphia as they come to the attack. Fucina goes quickly to the air, and a reaching, leaning grab is out of bounds by Willie Collier. Incomplete forward pass. For those of you who were noting the New Jersey-Washington ball game, and Herschel Walker opening the game with an 83-yarder for a touchdown, tying him with Kelvin Bryant with 84 points. Walker has 11 carries, 129 yards in the first half of that ball game. So Herschel's having a big day. You can see, too, that Philadelphia has been a dominant football game in the second half this year, though in the game against Boston at Philadelphia back in April 24, they had to hang on for dear life to win it.
Boston scored 16 second-half points to come within reach of winning the game. And there's a fumble.
And it is recovered by Boston. So the Breakers, David Riley comes in. He his first carry of the day. The Breakers knock the ball loose and come up with a football at their own 36. So they make a break for themselves.
Man coming up with the football, number 59, Ben Needham out of Michigan, and he's a rookie. David Riley gets a call here. He goes up the middle. Right there, he's hitting. The ball is stripped, and the ball was, when it was stripped, it bounced into the arms of Ben Needham. So now Boston gets a break, and they, the best field position they've had all day, as we said earlier.
By far. From the Philadelphia 36. A double wide to the bottom of your picture, and Walton quickly goes to the air. He throws it short. The pass is caught. He had Charlie Smith breaking downfield, and Olin France came back to the ball and was able to pull it down for a short gain.
That's a bit of an unusual play. Number 23, Antonio Gibson, was lined up over the slot, the man in the slot, and had he just turned around a half second sooner, he could have picked that off and gone 70 yards for a touchdown. To call in a tight ball game.
Second down and 5 as they pick up 5 on the pass play, and they send Coash, the tight end, in motion. He takes the short route, gets the ball, breaks it big, down inside the 20, goes to the 16 of Philadelphia. John Bunting brought him down.
Glenn Howard was a man out of Minnesota, rookie, the linebacker, who was on Coash, and he was right in front of Bo, but Bo has great concentration right here, going in motion, trying to get the mismatch, getting one-on-one, but it's a zone coverage, doesn't make any difference. Glenn Howard right there comes in underneath, can't stop the play. Bo Coash takes the ball down to the 21-yard line.
16.
Out of Middlebury. Excuse me, the 16-yard line.
First down, Boston. Big opportunity for them to get back in the hunt right here. They fake the blitz. They go with a short pass over the middle intended for number 32, Frank Lockett. Lockett is howling about being held. Jonathan Sutton was up on him nose to nose.
That's right, and there was a blitz, Keith. Number 54, Sam Mills, comes in and just nails Johnnie Walton. He wasn't picked up. They were trying to adjust, trying to pick up Mike Lush coming in there faking the blitz. He got a shot on Johnnie Walton as he got the ball away to number 32, Frank Lockett. Frank Lockett was the man who caught the big touchdown pass against Philadelphia in that first ball game in the second half.
Second down and 10. They send Smith in motion, Walton back. He goes for Crump and overthrows it. Richard Crump, coming out of the backfield, had broken free. But in order to get the ball to him, Walton had to touch the ball over the head of the defender, and he couldn't do it.
Well, there was a big mix-up on that last play, too. It looked like Bo Coash and Charlie Smith just banged into each other trying to get out at the bottom of the screen on their right side into the pass pattern. So he literally only had one receiver to go to.
Third down, Boston 0 for 6 in the ball game today, but they've been converting third downs at a 40% clip on the season. Third and 10 from the Philadelphia 16. Loop for Dennis Johnson out of the backfield. And at the goal line, Johnson can't come up with it. Jonathan Sutton all over it.
Oh, and he had Nolan Franz wide open down the middle of the field. Johnnie Walton may have had his mind made up that time to go to Dennis Johnson, but Nolan Franz came inside, going in motion, broke clean down the middle, but pass goes for naught. It's incomplete, and now Tim Mazzetti gets a chance to use his talents.
Mazzetti will be kicking from 33 yards. He's third in the USFL in scoring. The kick, running a leg on it, and he's got it. So that puts him into the lead with 85 points. He has reassumed the lead. He had it for the better part of 3 or 4 weeks. And who's the man knocked down? I think Mazzetti got whacked after the kick. Let's take a look. He's slow to get up.
Right there.
Scott Werner runs into him, but you can see that Scott's trying to hold on to him, so he really didn't get hit.
He had his leg out there, and he just may have gotten his leg caught up, even though the hit wasn't very hard. right there, his legs out. He comes down right there. It comes down, and he steps on it just as he hits him. His foot might just be a little bit sore. We'll find out after we come back. Well, you can see there, we talked about Tim Mazzetti regaining the scoring title. The top three of the top 4 scorers are in this ball game. Mazzetti, Trout, and Kelvin Bryant, and the only other person absent is Herschel Walker.
Mazzetti still limping some after being stepped on. Kicks it high, very high, and Alan Harmon fights his way back across the 20 to about the 24. So the Boston defensive crowd now jumping up and down. That special teams bunch, they're really fired up. They're in the ball game, 10-3 score with 12:44 to go. Mazzetti is a little giffy coming off the field.
He's done a lot better than when he walked on the field.
Yeah, he is. Philadelphia to the attack. First down at the 24. They lead 10-3. Give the ball to Bryant, and Bryant is buried behind the line of scrimmage. Darrell Wilkerson 75 and Larry McClain 73. The Big Ends.
Well, this game is almost a repeat. Well, it's an identical repeat so far of the first ball game. First half, the Boston defense doesn't do well. Second half, the defense comes out and just stuffs the Philadelphia offense right here. They do a great job of stuffing the play, stopping it cold, and if they can continue to do it, again, the Boston Breakers might have better field position throughout the second half.
Second down and 10. Bucina has all day. Now Gaylord's after him, and Jeff gets him. He got it up across the 25 to about the 27.
Jeff Gaylord showing some very, very good foot speed that time, chasing Chuck Bucina. Oh, when Philadelphia played the Chicago Blitz, we said that the way the Chicago Blitz defense would play Chuck, he would be forced to run the ball. In that particular game, he did a real good job running the ball, picking up about 80 yards on the day, and running a bootleg in for the touchdown. This time, they're forcing him to pass the ball, but now they're catching him. They're not giving him the room to run.
Boston shows a 4-man front now. On third down and 8. Got him. McClain back at the 15, the 14.
Came into this ball game being sacked 41 times. They wanted to put him in a passing situation. That's exactly where they have him. He's got receivers downfield. Apparently, they're all covered. He can't make up his mind, can't find anyone to throw to. Larry McClain comes in, and he gets credit for the sack.
Fourth in the game for Boston. Landetta to punt. Jamona and Wilson to receive it for Boston. High, good kick. That's Wilson back at the 42. He gets a block from Jamona, gets it back to near midfield. 43-yard punt by Sean Landetta with 10:38 to play in the third quarter. Mark McCants, the tackle for Philadelphia. Stars 10, Boston 3. Mark McCants is a young man who is building himself a career with the Philadelphia Stars as a member of the special teams.
Right there, he was on the bench. He was a little bit sore, and you're going to see why. Right there, he gets hit one time. He's still running, trying to get in. There, he's blocked again, fights off a blocker, gets in, makes the tackle after attempts of 2 people to stop him.
Tough. Now up to the Boston offense. The defense giving them the ball at their own 49. First down. Johnnie Walton goes to the short man. Richard Crump out of the backfield. 6'1", gets a first down inside the 40. Got away from Sam Mills.
There, Richard Crump showing a little bit of enthusiasm, happy with himself on that one play. They've got to be able to do it consistently. Sam Mills, number 54, the man who was on him, he's going to be looking for Richard Crump coming out of that backfield. Has been doing a good job all day of stopping that play.
Yeah, but that's the kind of a mismatch you want.
Absolutely.
The offense.
Sam is a good linebacker, but he doesn't have the foot speed to stay with a Richard Crump on the passing situation.
Ball is on the Philadelphia 39, first down. Johnson in motion. Given to Crump. Turns it around the corner to just inside the 35. Give him 4. John Brooks and Sam Mills make the tackle.
Sam Mills looks like Fearless Fly with those glasses on.
He does, doesn't he?
Those goggles have helped a lot of people see better in ball games and protected their eyes from injuries. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar wore them after injuring his eye. John Jefferson wears them for the Green Bay Packers.
Second down, 6. Swing it out. That's Tony Davis. And Tony can't quite get to the marker. He's going to be about a yard short. So you'll be looking at third down and 1 and a half.
Should be a few more pounds in that defensive line on this third down. Philadelphia bringing the short yardage defense. Number 76, Willie Roseball, is one of the men that brought in there. Used to be a tight end up in Washington.
Third and a short 2 or 1 and a half. Put it up. Pass is incomplete. Incomplete. Gibson arriving with the ball, and Charlie Smith upset he didn't get some help.
Charlie Smith should be upset. It looked like the number 23, Antonio Gibson. He's on him. Looks like he just wraps an arm around him before the ball gets there. The pass is coming right there as the contact. He grabs an arm. It's very close. I couldn't see just where the ball was, from that particular angle. Antonio Gibson making a good play. There was a man who was open a little bit shorter, and he had the opportunity. It's a big fourth down now.
And they're going out of the shotgun. Trailing by 7. 10-3 ball game. Lush comes up, trying to get through on the blitz. Pass is complete to Smith. Penalty flags are thrown. Hold on. You could have encroachment or you could have procedure.
The Philadelphia defense is indicating it's on Boston, but it's not. It's on Philadelphia.
And that's the first down for the Boston Breakers.
Number 95, Frank Case, is the man who's going to be called for it. In the first half, an unnecessary roughness play against Joe Restick sustained a drive by the Philadelphia Stars that allowed them to get on the scoreboard. Now, Frank Case jumps off sides, even though the pass was complete. They'll refuse it. Now they're in position to score.
First down at the Philadelphia 24. Davis is the deep man. Walton goes down the middle. Good to Nolan Krantz inside the 5. First and goal to go for the Breakers at the Philadelphia 3.
Well, that Philadelphia defense, again, still playing in the zones. And Johnny Sutton doesn't get a jam, doesn't slow Nolan Krantz down right here in the seam. Gets a good pass, jumps up, protects the ball. And Mike Lesh, number 27, comes in and makes a hit. Johnnie Walton, a good pass, getting over the linebacker. Sam Mills just not tall enough, not enough jumping ability to get up and knock that one down.
Davis, the lone remaining back for Boston. First and goal from the 3. Walton will throw it. Throws it quickly, and the pass is incomplete. And the pass was intended for the tight end as he had stepped into the end zone and turned back to him. And Chris Combs just simply couldn't hold it.
Now the ball was right there. He really should have caught it. There was a number of people around him. He might have been thinking about that contact a bit too much. Good pass in there by Johnnie Walton.
Well, that's the 4th pass that's been on a receiver's hands or numbers today, and they've let him go. None quite that dramatic, however. Second down and goal to go from the 3. Now they've got Davis and Crump together in the backfield. And they give it to Crump, and Crump gets it down to the 1. Lush stepped in there and made a play for the Philadelphia defense. And there's a penalty flag, or is there? Looked like it, but I guess not. Something down on the field, but it's not a flag.
Maybe it was a banana peel. They're throwing it out there and hoping the Philadelphia defense will slip on it because they're giving them a lot of respect because they won't run the ball.
Ball is on the 2. Walton loops it in the corner. No! Off the fingers of Nolan Franz. Incomplete. It is 4th down and goal to go from the 2.
What do you do here? Oh, Nolan Franz has his ball on his fingertips. Right, should have caught it. Scott Warren had his back turned right there on his fingertips, just bounced off. So Tim Mazzetti comes in and they'll try and reduce the lead by 3 points.
Well, with 7:17 to go in the 3rd quarter, you got to go for the 3. You just have to. 19-yard kick is good. The second field goal by Tim Mazzetti with 7 minutes and 14 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter. It is now Philadelphia 10 and Boston 6.
I can drive a car.
Not that fast. High hanging kick by Mazzetti. Goes to Harvard. Back at the 9. He's got a little bit of a hole on the sidelines that he posts a fine return as he comes well up the field to about the 34-yard line.
Inside or outside, he would have picked up about the same yardage. They opened up a pretty good-looking hole for him on that kickoff return to the inside, but he elected to go to the outside down the sideline.
Look at this. Washington has pulled within a point of New Jersey now as Billy Taylor turns one loose and goes 32 yards. 17-16 ball game. Billy Taylor, of course, was with the Boston club for a time. Didn't want to let him go, but he's worked out just fine for him. It's 1st down Philadelphia. They lead by 4, 10-6. On their 34, give the ball to Kelvin Bryant. And they drag him down at the line of scrimmage. Joe Restick, free safety, coming up out of the secondary, helping to make the play.
Joe Restick came over to his position on the outside just a little bit late as the Philadelphia Stars were shifting their formation around a bit. Did a fine job.
Joe's dad, of course, the coach right down the road at Harvard. Joe is on leave from the Pennsylvania Dental School, having graduated from Notre Dame. It's Kelvin Bryant making the reception for about 5 yards up near the 39, where Mike Brewington knocks him down.
That time, Kelvin got caught sandwiched in between the linebackers and a defensive lineman who was rushing on the play. He's looking for somewhere to run, and from behind and from the front, he gets met.
They've handled him pretty well so far today. 3rd down and 5 from the 39.
I wonder if Joe Restick's dad could get him over into Harvard to play their games there.
Won't lease the stadium to him. That's Folsom, the tight end, in motion. He's on the sidelines. Pass is thrown downfield. That's got to be interference there. Got to be. Tom Donovan was downfield, and Lindell Jones out of Hawaii just jumped all over him.
Well, Lindell saw the play, saw the ball in the air, going to him, and he just couldn't get inside enough to get by Donovan to make the play. You watch Donovan, he's going to stop, turn to his inside. Right here, Lindell Jones reads a play. He comes up and just goes right through him instead of going around it.
Defensive pass interference on number 23. 1st down.
And it's a 1st down at the Boston 46 for Philadelphia.
Had not Chuck Cusina thrown that ball just to the outside of Donovan, Lindell would have had a chance to make that play without pass interference.
Harvard is in. Bryant is out. The ball goes to Booker Russell. And the big fullback moves it down near the 40. Here's Tim Brandt with Tim Mazzetti.
Thanks, Keith. You know, things are really heating up down here on the sidelines, and one of the catalysts has been that controversial play that you hit that first field goal and went down. Tell me about it.
Well,
Well, there's not much to tell. As soon as I hit the field goal, I kept my head down when I was about to look to see if it was good or not. I just got popped. And for a little while, I was a little scared. I got popped right on the knee as it went down. I thought maybe something was wrong with my knee. Obviously, they didn't think it was a late hit or whatever. They didn't call it.
Okay, Keith.
Pitcher. Second down, 5. That's Booker Russell again. Booker gets that much steam going. He's a big guy. He's 6'2", 235, and he just ran right through Marcus Merrick and Darrell Wilkerson.
Marcus Merrick is a rookie out of Ohio State who has come on like gangbusters for this Boston team. He leads the team in tackles, and right there you see him just flowing to the outside, reading the play, getting a little help from Doug Wilkerson up front as they combine to make the stop on Booker Russell.
Very close to a first down, close enough for the change to come on the field. Russell's carried 5 times for 34 yards today, and Kelvin Bryant 14 times for just 36 yards. What are they, just short? No. They've got it by just inches.
Jim Moore there on the sideline, of course, was an assistant coach for the New England Patriots prior to joining the Philadelphia Stars as head coach, and he's got about 50 or so friends of his in the stands who have come out to see his coaching here in Boston.
Bryant back in, has the ball, and they cut him down at the 35. Gain of a yard. 4.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Some of the other changes in the personnel during the past week. We noted that Bobby Scott was traded to Chicago by New Jersey for Kerry Lee Rinko and an 84 draft choice. Kevin Williams went from Los Angeles over to Denver for linebacker John Barfield, and Denver also giving up the USFL rights for quarterback Tom Owens. But Kevin Williams, with his speed, probably Craig Morton's kind of guy. Back goes Cusina on second down and 9, runs it out of the pocket and runs it down to the 29. That'll leave him 3 yards short of the first down. Another change, too, Chicago. George just can't get through a week without trading some. He sent defensive tackle Bob Cobb over to Washington for 2 1984 draft choices. And another change at Denver, and we didn't have time in our visit with Craig Morton to question him on it, but it's my understanding they now have the rights for Craig Penrose, quarterback.
He was a man that backed up Craig Morton in Denver for a number of years.
Third down and 3. Bryant's going for it. Good defense outside, and they've got him. Oh, that's a good defensive play by Lindell Jones. So he shortens the horns a little bit there with that defensive play coming from the quarterback spot.
Well, if they substituted Lindell Jones in at the corner for M.L. Carter because of his ability to stop the run, then they made the right move because he's been doing it all day long.
So Dave Trout on fourth down comes galloping on the field now. The kicking team is out there. The snapper is Joe Happy. The holder is Jim Cron. And this will be a man-sized effort. It's marked inside the 40 at the 39, so it's a 49-yard pop by Trout. Got all of it. And he missed it.
Just short.
Their breeze is not much breeze at all, and what there is sort of going across the field, so he got no help from it, and Philadelphia is turned away at 2:29 to go in the third quarter. They call them the Heartbreakers.
Break my heart.
Stop it.
I guess it's just a single man's reaction.
I reckon. From the 32. Johnnie Walton stands up, pops it out to France, trying to set up a wide receiver screen, and they get something out of it.
10 yards on the first down. Sam Mills, number 54, finally coming over to make the stop. Nolan Franz doing a good job taking advantage of his blocking and getting downfield for the first down. That's 4 catches for 51 yards.
Nolan played college ball down at Tulane for Vince Gibson.
Number 23 there is Lindell Jones, who is very happy with his play so far. At halftime, during the timeout, players are coming over congratulating him on this play, and he was talking to the coaches. He had a big smile all over his face.
First down at the 42 for the Breakers. 10-6, Philadelphia leads. Walton lobs it over the top. Charlie Smith across midfield. And near the Philadelphia 48, now it's Tony Davis, the fullback. 25. And Davis gets another Boston first down. Right now, let's go to Tim Brandt with Kelvin Bryant.
First question for Kelvin is, how's the ankle?
Yeah, it's real sore right now. You know, I just got to go in and keep coming out because it's real sore right now.
Do you think at all about the rushing leadership? Here's Herschel in Washington, has 83 yards his first carry. Does that enter into your mind?
I don't worry about that. I just want to win.
Okay, Kelvin, back up to you, Keith.
I love him. He is so direct and right to the point. He's a great young man. I had the pleasure of spending a week with him last summer. Here's the pass, lofted downfield, and that one is intercepted.
Out of bounds.
Interference.
The flag on the play. He dropped the flag with Scott Warner when he went up for the ball. He caught it and landed out of bounds. I think the official meant to throw down a marker where the ball would have been instead of his flag. Right now, Johnnie Walton is going back, and he tries to just lay it out so the receiver can go up and make a play for it. Scott Warner comes across right there. He catches it, and he's looking, trying to stay in bounds, but he gets that right foot out of bounds.
Stuart Ross, the line judge, reached in his pocket for his beanbag and came out with his flag instead. There is no penalty.
Scott Warner, out of Georgia, former teammate of Herschel Walker. He and Mike Lush both have 6 interceptions on this team.
Second down and 10 for Boston. Ball is near the 48 of Philadelphia. Walton back, swings it out. Louis Jamona. Whoa, he gets upended. Looked like Jonathan Sutton. It was coming up out of the secondary. The cornerback leveled it.
Jonathan Sutton came in and replaced Roger Jackson at the starting corner position. Roger Jackson, rookie out of Penn State, comes in when they have 5 defensive backs. But he's done a very good job for them. Before this ball game, Sutton would come in and play the corner, and Antonio Gibson would cover the slot.
Boston today, Swanee, is 0 for 9 on third down conversion. Third down and 7. Shotgun for Walton. Throws it hard for Johnson. Johnson is close to a first down. He really drilled it, and he had to drill it because Jeff Gabrielson was all over him, beating on his helmet. And it is a first down as the third quarter comes to a close. Philadelphia leading 10-6. Back for the fourth quarter after this message and a word from our local station. Washington Federals in the third quarter have gone ahead of the New Jersey Generals 23-20. Hohensee hitting James for the touchdown, and Betts adding a field goal for New Jersey. So they've got a dandy going in that one. Right here in Boston. Philadelphia leading 10-6 as we go to the fourth quarter. It is first down for Boston at the Philadelphia 38. Philadelphia trying to win the Atlantic Division today. If they win this game, they will be the champions of the division and in the playoffs. Johnnie Walton turns, hands the ball to Tony Davis, and Davis on a draw goes to the 35 for 3.
Trying to catch this Philadelphia team, which has been consistently blitzing throughout the ball game. Trying to throw the blocking off, trying to get in and get a sack on Johnnie Walton, who coming into this ball game was only sacked 4 times. You see Mike Lush, number 27, trying to sneak up right there, and he goes inside, but it's a draw, and a draw is a pretty good play to take advantage of a blitz. Picks up about 3 yards that time on play.
Second down, 7. Coash in motion. Walton's pass thrown behind Tony Davis, incomplete. Sam Mills has come up to cover him. So not a well-executed play at all by the Breakers.
Not a very well-executed play. The defense is just doing a very good job of stopping them. As we take a look at the third quarter stats, they're even on first down. The difference between running and passing, both the teams doing what they normally do well. The turnover is only one difference. Time of possession, 25 minutes and 20 seconds for Philadelphia compared to 1940 for Boston. But both teams have now run, including the plays in the fourth quarter for Boston, 49 plays each. So Boston losing time of possession because the clock stopping on incomplete passes.
Out of the shotgun, Lockett going down the middle, and the pass is caught at the 20. Beautiful catch made by Charles Smith right in the arms of Antonio Gibson.
They were teammates together when they both played for the Eagles. Johnnie Walton throwing to the sage of the wide receivers, Charlie Smith. Makes a good catch here over the middle. He's hip. You see Antonio Gibson has his arms pinned down to his side trying to strip the ball. But he's been used to that for years playing at Grambling and in the NFL. Charlie Smith educating the receivers on his own team, getting them ready to play good football.
First down breakers just inside the Philadelphia 20. Ball given to Richard Crump. Gets a block from Davis, but that's not enough. Gibson hung in there and made the play along with Dave Ofar.
And Dave Ofar, number 94, gets up a little slow. Now he'll go up the sideline, and again, you see number 27, Michael S. He's coming up again, trying to cause some confusion, trying to get in on the blitz. This time he's picked up, but they've got a good play call for it, the draw that takes him to the outside. Ofar hurt himself, looked like just diving over the people lying on the ground.
Second down 8. Number 17. Walton gets it away under the rush. And the pass is incomplete, intended for Dennis Johnson. Scott Werner messed that one up.
Well, Dennis Johnson is having his problems today. He dropped a couple. That one a little bit more difficult to catch, but still a very catchable pass by Johnnie Walton.
Well, Lockett hasn't seen the ball. And he's the only Boston receiver to have a 100-yard plus game receiving the ball. And against Philadelphia the last time, of course, he had that big 86-yard bolt, but he had 131 yards April 24th. He hasn't seen the ball today.
Lockett playing number 32. Produced as many professional football players as any other major university in the country. Comes from a fine heritage of wide receivers. Himself, Frank Lewis, Tremaine Johnson, comes up with a great catch on a 17-yard touchdown.
And Mazzetti in for the extra point try. It's good. With 12 minutes and 38 seconds to play in the football game, the Boston Breakers have gone on top of the Philadelphia Stars 13-10.
Well, this time it's the Philadelphia defense.
KGO-TV, Channel 7, San Francisco.
Send 4 people to rush. Johnnie Walton has his man, Charlie Smith, with man-to-man coverage on Antonio Gibson. He goes up high, makes a catch, both feet inbounds as he crosses just the corner of the end zone, and it's the Boston Breakers on top, 13-10.
11th play, 68 yards. Mazzetti will kick it off. Knuckleballs it downfield, and it's picked up short. Grabbed by Jeff Rodenberger. And Rodenberger, big fullback, runs it all the way back near the 40. So now Philadelphia has pretty good field position with 12 and a half minutes to play in the ball game, and the Stars are trailing by 3. Philadelphia Stars have been behind before, while the Boston offensive unit now is trying to get their act together for the next possession. The defensive group's out there, and they've got to do some headbutting because we have seen so many times this Philadelphia club just keep coming.
They keep coming, but this defensive team of the Boston Breakers has held them scoreless, to only 3 points in their last meeting in the second half.
You've seen a pump fakes, goes deep down the sideline, and it is incomplete. That'll get the flag. Pass interference call against M.L. Carter. M.L. hasn't played much today, and all of a sudden trying to cover Willie Collier on a fly down the sidelines, he gets nailed. That's a big... here's where I think the fairness of the pass interference rule applies. Instead of getting the ball down inside the 25-yard line on this foul by Carter, they get 15 yards.
He froze Carter on that. Willie Collier froze ML Carter on that play. And right there, he just puts his hand on him, grabs him a little bit. The official's right there on the play, and you're right. Instead of getting the ball way downfield on unintentional pass interference, they just move it 10 yards downfield. First down. Just short of the 45. Booker Russell. Booker carrying the ball more today than he has in recent games, at least the games we have seen. And he turns in a pretty good gallop. Gets it down to about the 37-yard line. He's total now on 6 carries in the ball game, 42 yards. Well, not too bad if you take away that one fumble.
Well, Dave Betts got a job when Dave Jacobs was cut by New Jersey, and he's earned his salary today. He's kicked another field goal. I think that's 4. Maybe 5.
Kelvin Bryant went nowhere on that play. Again, the defensive line of the Boston Breakers doing a good job. Linebackers filling in, stopping the play cold.
You know who's playing a whale of a ball game in the middle in there is Jeff Gaylord. Gaylord comes out now, and Odious Lee goes in. Jeff played at Missouri, and Odious played at Nebraska. So used to be mortal enemies out in the Big 8.
Well, Jeff Gaylord just now came back in the ball game, and they took out a linebacker, I believe. Number 59, Ben Eden.
3rd and 1, goal line defense. Bryant sticks his head in the stack. And behind the offensive line surge has the first down. That's a lot of big folks butting heads. Right now, let's spend a moment with Sam Mills as he talks to Tim Brett.
All right, Keith. Sam Mills is already thinking about the next defensive series for Philadelphia. Now, they are starting to use a lot of the underneath patterns. Walton's starting to hit the short guys. How do you stop that?
Well, I think right now, they've been lucky, and they've been hitting a few passes on us. I think our turn will come, and we'll get the interception. We're going to get our turn.
Okay, Keith.
Bryant. Skipping, stepping, dancing. When it looks like he's got no place to go, suddenly he's got 5 yards.
And it's 2nd and 5, and that's the kind of situation I like to create. Number 56, Marcus Merrick, rookie out of Ohio State, again on the tackle. After that pass interference called on ML Carter, they did take him out of the ball game. And back in at the game, number 23, Lindell Jones.
Staying with the ground game as Russell carries the ball. Booker. And he's inside the 30 to the 29. Close, maybe no mark at the 29. There's the time remaining in the game. 9 minutes and 40 seconds and counting. Boston leading 13-10. Trying to stay alive in the wild card chase for the playoffs and deny Philadelphia its party tonight. Has a lot of time, and he drills Scott Fitzke right on the numbers at the Boston 20 for another Philadelphia first down.
He had just enough time. It was running out on him quick. Fitzke came through as he has done you've seen it quite often this year, and when they played together, making his 3rd catch, a total of 44 yards. You see right there in the middle of the picture, coming across. Nice little simple route crossing pattern.
So the Stars are knocking on the door, trying to regain the lead. They are already in position. They are within Dave Trout's range. So if they have to settle for the tie here. Trout warming up. Fusina cranks it up, goes to the sidelines, and overthrows Fitzke. Scott broke off the pattern, and he broke it a little sooner than Fusina thought he would.
That one just sailed up a little bit too high. Pattern like that is more timing than anything else, and you have to rely on that receiver to break open at the right spot. Fusina threw it just a bit high. Yeah, pitch had gone downfield a little bit farther, he was in the right position to make that catch.
Chuck is now 9 out of 19, 91 yards and a touchdown today. Second down and 10. Fires it down the middle. Intended for Willie Collier. And Willie got pinched between two defenders, Restick and Jones, and couldn't come up with it.
A rock in the hard place. He comes off the ball, just running a little slant pass behind the linebackers, trying to get in the seam. Right there you see Lindell Jones driving and hits him, just bounces right through his hands. And Restick coming in.
That ball is
just in case. Very catchable.
It's catchable.
It's called selling your body or footsteps.
20-yard line, third down and 10 for Philadelphia. Pretty good sized little crowd here at Nickerson Field, making some noise. Hard to call the check off. Fusina pulls it down, starts running for his life, throws it. Pass is caught by Collier and knocked out of bounds just short of the goal line. It'll be first down and goal to go for the Philadelphia Stars.
Nice little high jump move over the barrier there. Save himself. Willie Collier comes out. Fusina is looking for him early, but the linebacker does a good job right there of cutting it off. Number 56, Marcus Merrick. He keeps running across the field. Finally, he pops open as Chuck Fusina begins to scramble. Defense relaxed somewhat, and he is about 2 yards short of the end zone. Nice little move. He even held on to the ball.
Yep. They mark him out at the 2, where it's first down and goal to go for the Philadelphia Stars. They trail by 3 points. 8:08 to play in the game. Bryant over the top. Not quite. Close, but no cigar.
Kelvin thought he was in the end zone, but the official using the opportunity to create a little more drama says, no, you're short by inches. I always thought officials love to make that call. Run to that spot, wave their arms, stomp their feet, and says, no, it's right here on the 1 inch line.
They put Rodenberger in there to block. And look at here, they missed the handoff. And Ray Phillips jumps all over Chuck Fusina. I don't know if they missed the handoff or not, but Phillips was in there so quick. Maybe if Fusina felt him and decided to eat it rather than risk it. And the loss is back to the 5.
And that would have been a smart move. We'll take a look and try and see just why he missed his handoff.
I thought he was going to Bryant.
He's trying to go to Kelvin. Right there.
Oh, Phillips.
The hand goes right on him. He is lucky that ball wasn't stripped away from him.
Right.
Good move on his part, bringing the ball back in, not trying to get the ball or toss the ball out to Kelvin Bryant.
Was it Joe Restick on a blitz that got it?
No, Ray Phillips. Got it.
Okay. Back goes Chuck to throw. Over the middle, touchdown. Philadelphia's back in front. Willie Collier caught it right under the goalpost.
Well, Willie Collier coming up with 3 big catches. He only has 3 on the day, and 2 of them have been touchdowns. Here it is again. Man-to-man coverage by number 24, M.L. Carter. He stops, comes inside. Fusina has enough time for Willie Collier to work his magic and get open.
And it's a 16-13 ball game. Philadelphia leading, and here's the extra point try. Very important. Very. It's good. So it's a 4-point lead for the Stars with 6 minutes and 55 seconds to play in the ball game. Preceding announcement courtesy of the United States Football League. Crowd 15,668. Philadelphia to the lead, 17-13, 6:55 to play in the game. If they win it, they're the champions of the Atlantic Division. Hughes and Wilson deep for Boston as crowd kicks off. And it's Hughes at the 1. Derek Hughes out of Michigan State. Comes back to about the 20. Here's Tim Brent.
Here with Willie Collier, 2 touchdowns today. They're playing a lot of zone, giving you the underneath coverage, and you're utilizing it.
Yeah, they sure are. You know, as long as we get the protection, I think we'll be able to take advantage of it, especially later on in this fourth quarter.
Are they going to keep going to Willie Collier down the stretch here?
Well, I hope they do because, hey, I want to win this one bad so we can go on and clinch this division, you know, maybe get a little rest or something.
All right, they don't want to rest. They want to party, Keith.
They mark the ball at the 19. Champagne is chilled. But Johnnie Walton may not be through. Bumps it once, goes down the middle for Coash, a big one. A big time from Middlebury. Goes all the way to the Philadelphia 48.
And Johnnie Walton is not through. Johnnie Walton is not a man who is prone to giving up. Former head coach from Elizabeth City, New Jersey.
No, North Carolina.
North Carolina, excuse me. Giving New Jersey a little more credit.
33-yard pickup on the play as Coash broke clean.
That's the same play that he tried to run earlier that was incomplete. Tight end just didn't turn around fast enough. This time, Bo Coash, the man, and he brings the ball past midfield to the 48-yard line.
Steels is one of the wide people. He's a speedster. Walton has to pull it down. And Johnny gets something out of it. Those 35-year-old legs churning and pumping, and he ran for about 6 yards.
George Cooper, number 56, was a man in on the stop. Those legs must be in shock. That's one of the few times that Johnnie Walton has run this year out of the pocket.
The former coach at Elizabeth City State assumed a coach-like posture as he started chewing on somebody the minute he got up.
Oh, those legs don't want to run through that kind of traffic.
Second down, a short 4. Ball is at the 42 of Philadelphia. 5:15 to play in the game. Handed off to Richard Crump. Trying to go outside, and he gets to the marker, and he's got a first down for Boston.
Well, he does that all on his own. Number 25, Tony Davis, had the responsibility of getting him the block. He was a lead blocker on that little play. Stalled his man just for a second, and it was Richard Crump breaking to the outside and then just driving over his man to get the first down.
Ball sitting at the Philadelphia 37. 4:40 to play in the game. 17-13, Philadelphia lead.
Tony Davis, a hard little rock of a running back, I'm sure isn't happy with that blocking performance and would like to spring Trump for a big one.
Got a chance right here. Mike Lush, number 27, penetrating along with Sam Mills, 54. And they get him right at the line of scrimmage.
Mike Lush is having an active day on that defense.
It's kind of fun to be the free safety, though, on a day when your defensive unit is keyed toward blitzing, because you can saw down a lot of timber.
Except when one of those big guys is waiting for you.
Yeah, picks you off.
Then you're the timber that's getting sawed down.
Second and 10. There he comes again. They pick him up this time. Walton goes the other way with it. And it is almost intercepted by Jonathan Sutton.
His eyes are too big and his hands too small. Mike Lush comes up again on the blitz. This time he's picked up very well by that offensive line. Right there, he stopped, doesn't even get anywhere close, and Johnnie Walton is looking for a man on the sideline, and he's looking to his left, then comes back to the right. Man's open, the ball just takes a little long getting there, and Sutton makes the play. Shotgun formation.
Walton goes deep. Lockett is there, and it's batted away by Scott Werner, and Werner could have had an interception. That's the first time they've gone deep to Lockett.
Oh, Lockett trying to run a little flag route. Needed the ball to go to the outside, but Scott Warner doing a good job reading, playing it right there. Secondary's got bricks for hands today. Unlike the Philadelphia secondary, they usually are very, very good at picking the ball off and making a big play. And now it's fourth down, about 9.5 yards to go for a first down, and Johnnie Walton's offensive unit is still in there.
3:40 to play in the game. Crowd comes up out of the shotgun. Walton goes to the sideline. Pass is good. Just for the first down. the 22 of Philadelphia, and it's Nolan Franz making the catch. So the Breakers are still alive.
Well, the Breakers have been a team that have not been very good at completing third down conversions today, and now they're only 2 for 12. This one a big fourth down play. And Nolan Franz, 84, the clutch receiver from Tulane, makes a good catch here. Zone coverage. He just drove Mike Lush back, turned around, and Johnnie Walton had the ball there. 5 catches, 66 yards. Crucial catches on the day.
Philadelphia leading by 4, 17-13, inside 3 minutes to play in the game. Ball goes to Crump. Loses the football, and Philadelphia recovers it. George Cooper, number 56, comes out of there with it.
Mike Lush, again blitzing on the play.
The pitch came back. It seemed to be a pretty firm pitch, but Crump never had a hold of it. And the Breakers may have broken their own back.
And watch Mike Lush. He comes up again. This time they don't pick him up. It was a pitch, just went all the way back and just missed the hands of Crump. Hit him on the shoulder pads and nothing but red jerseys. And I don't know why they called him down. Didn't seem like he was touched when he picked up the fumble.
Whatever. Philadelphia leading 17-13, 2:47 to play in the game. They own the football, first down at their own 25. And you know that they're going to grind it out as much as possible.
They'll run the ball, letting that clock tick down at least to the 2-minute mark.
We have a timeout call now by the Boston Breakers, stopping the clock at 2:37 to play in the ball game. Well, that's been the story of Philadelphia. They're so far out in front of everybody else in the league in takeaways that it's had a tremendous impact in the fortunes of this ball club. And it's a pretty good football team. Timeout on the field. The attendance at today's ball game, Nickerson Field, the capacity here is 21,000. And this, of course, has become the core of a lot of talk around the area.
On the other hand, Philadelphia, who play at Veterans Stadium and holds about 70,000, best record in the USFL, doesn't draw that well.
Nope. It's a shame, too, because it's a good football team. I don't understand why people in Philadelphia aren't supporting it. I really don't. It's a very entertaining football team. Scott Fitzke goes in motion. They pitch it to Kelvin Bryant, and Bryant on second down and 9 is hammered down just about the line of scrimmage. Herschel Walker has put another record under his name in the USFL. He may have more by now, but a little while ago we were told that he had 21 carries for 184 yards. That's a new single-game record.
Hey, offense, got a shot. Let's go.
And the previous high having been 179 by Kelvin Bryant.
That was Dick Corey there on the sideline, jumping around, trying to get his offense motivated. As we see that Jersey Generals and Washington Federals are still tied at 23-23 all in the fourth quarter. Herschel keeps running, keeps getting the ball in that game. He could be the first running back to get over 200 yards.
2 minutes and 29 seconds to play in the football game.
Of course, we've been talking about the Boston defensive line and the great job that they're doing up front, stopping the running game. Kelvin Bryant, so far in the day, in the first quarter, carried 6 times for 31 yards. 6 for 31. Second period, he was 6 carries for 5 yards. Third period, he was 4 carries for 0. And here in the fourth period, he's carried the ball 5 times for only 11 yards. So that's 21 carries, 47 yards on the day. And give credit to a very enthusiastic Boston Breaker defensive line.
Here's a big play for Boston now. It's third down and 8. Heats on the defense. And Philadelphia goes to 3 wide receivers. They're going to put it up. Fusina drops the ball, picked up by one of the big linemen, and he is hit for a loss. It's Chuck Comiskey. The ball got away from Fusina, and Chuck Comiskey alertly fell on it, and Jim Mora almost fainted.
I'm sure he did. He's so happy Chuck Comiskey was there to pick up that loose ball. Had he not picked it up, it would have been Boston's ball inside the 25-yard line. Here you see Chuck Fusina dropping back, and he just loses the ball when he cocks his arm to throw. Then number 75 comes in and Lays a stick on to make sure he can't get it.
So, 4th down and 12. Philadelphia will have to punt it away to Boston with exactly 2 minutes to play in the game, and the Stars leading by 4. With about 5 minutes to play in the ball game, Washington has gone ahead of New Jersey again, 29-23 on a Horton to Harris pass, but look at that. They missed the point after. Now, Sean Landeta, the man under the gun, averaging over 39, hits a good one. He runs Gimona way back to the 25. Lone return man back there all by himself, and guess who gets it? Mark McCants. 51-yard punt. So Landeta delivers, and McCants does the job at the other end, getting the return man with 1:50 to play in the football game. Philadelphia leading by 4 points. Boston has the ball first down at their own 35, 65 yards away from denying or postponing at least Philadelphia's celebration as Atlantic Division champions.
Mark McCants shaken up a little bit on that play when he tossed Gimona out of bounds. Could have been one of his own men that came in with a bit of a late hit. He did the damage to him.
They're working out of the shotgun. Pressure zone, set up the screen. Gimona's got it. Turns it back inside. And he gets about 3 yards.
Nice little move to pick up those yards because he was trapped. Or appeared to be trapped. They'll be in their hurry-up offense now as the clock continues to tick away.
Walton hit just as he bumped. Not really hit, but bumped just as he delivers the pass intended for Tony Davis. It is 3rd down and 7. 1:19 to play in the game. Walton's got a hook up right here with somebody. He's 22 out of 43, 231 yards. A touchdown. Has been intercepted once. The interception not particularly meaningful in that it was the closing play of the first half.
2 for 12 on 3rd down and 1 big 4th down conversion for the Boston Breakers.
Over the middle, Dennis Johnson got a first down. Got just enough. He got it out to the 47. As the chains move, the clock stops at 1:12 to play in the game.
Well, DJ has been plagued with a case of the dropsies for most of the ball game. Comes through with a big catch there.
Walton's pass again to Johnson. And they've got him out of bounds at midfield. That's 3 yards.
Well, there's enough time for them to nickel and dime their way downfield as long as they keep getting out of bounds and stopping that clock.
They've only got 1 timeout remaining.
They used those up, the other timeouts, just before the 2-minute warning, making sure that Philadelphia couldn't run it all out with their running game.
Steals wide to the bottom of the picture. Franz at the top. Walton down the middle with it. Coash can't hold on. Oh, he was walloped by Scott Werner. And both of them slow to get up. Coash is not up yet. Bo really took a whack. And he almost came up with a big play.
Scott Warner is a little shook up too, and he's just walking his off. Bo Coash still down on his knees. Again, that's a tough pass play because if it's not thrown quick enough, you do leave that receiver open and subject to this kind of a hit. And Scott Warner, playing his position extremely well, reading the passer, was in the perfect position to make the play, to make the tackle, knocking the ball loose. Big defensive play by Scott Warner.
Normally in the defensive alignment, you'll find the strong safety, which is the position that Scott Werner plays, going with the tight end.
On that play, he was playing more of a zone defense, and drifting back, he was reading Johnnie Walton, and Bo Coash was trying to split that seam as he had done earlier. He came up with a big catch. That time the ball was laid in there. He could have held on to it, but because of a good hit by Scott Warner, the ball was knocked loose.
Oakland's out in front of Los Angeles 7-0. In a key ball game in the Pacific Division today, being played at the Alameda County Oakland Coliseum. It's Kelvin Bryant who's going to have a sore foot for the party if they hang on here, leading 17-13. He only got 57 seconds to play in the ball game. And Boston looking at 3rd down and 7 from midfield. Out of the shotgun, Johnnie Walton goes down the middle with it. That's short of the first down. Caught by Tony Davis, looping out of the backfield. Boston's got to hurry. Clock is running. Ball is marked at the 44 of Philadelphia. They're a yard and a half short of the first down. 4th down and 40 seconds.
Johnnie Walton's intention here is to be just to pick up that first down. And he does.
That stops the clock. Pass good to Jamona. He needed a yard and a half. He got 3. 30 seconds to play.
Where's Frank Lockett, man with all the speed?
They've thrown it to him once. Over the middle, there's Nolan France. First down, inside the 20, inside the 15 to the 14. 20 seconds to play. Mike Lush saved the touchdown. Boston's got 1 timeout remaining. Clock stopped on the movement of the chains on the first down. Now they're starting. Walton out of the shotgun. Throws it short. Pass incomplete. Davis over there with Mills covering. And so now with 13 seconds.
Nolan France comes up with a big play to take him down inside the 20-yard line. Down to the 14-yard line.
Hey, Jerry,
second down.
Charlie Smith goes in, and he's got to play. Anthony Steele comes out. They've got Lockett and Smith and Franz out on the field now.
Awful lot of speed. But this is where the Philadelphia defense has always been its toughest in that secondary.
Blitz is on. Walton steps away from it. Goes over the middle with it. Incomplete pass. Lockett got his hand on it. He's screaming for interference as Roger Jackson covered him. There is no flag. And it is 3rd down.
Johnnie Walton hung in there for as long as he could. The blitz was coming in full force. Here you see Lockett. He gets inside of Jackson. He's got position on him. Walton lets it go. Tries to lead him across field. He has it, but Roger Jackson pulls his arm away from the ball. I don't think there was any pass interference in the play. Just some bad feelings.
8 seconds to play. 8 seconds. Walton back. Over the middle. It is too high. Lockett again, and he had 2 people on him. And you've got 4 seconds. And you've got 4th down. Well, in the first meeting, Johnnie Walton on 4th down with just seconds remaining had a chance. Missed in the end zone on 4th down, and Philadelphia won 23-16. History repeating itself right here. He's got 1 shot left.
It's the same ball game.
Same ball game.
All over again. Now the question is, can you get this pass a little bit lower so Charlie Smith can catch it?
Lockett, Franz, and Smith. Last play of the ball game right here. Down the middle. Caught! It's caught! A ricochet catch by Lockett for a touchdown!
What an ending to this game! The Boston fans react as if this is a championship football game. They are all over the field.
The game is over.
Time on the clock. This game is history.
So Philadelphia's party is postponed on a ricochet catch in the end zone by Frank Lockett. And Dick Corey is got to be the happiest man in town. Catch of the day for Lockett.
And it's a touchdown.
Here's Timmy.
Dick Mora is overcome by emotions right now. Can you They play like that all year. Get bad breaks. They finally got a great break today. We were lucky to get the last one, but these guys never quit. I love every one of them.
Dick Corey was in this ball game all the way. It was an emotional ball game. I know, right?
I tell you, our coaching staff, those assistant coaches of mine deserve a lot of credit. They're as good a group as there could be. I'm just proud as anything, Tim, of everyone.
Dick, when you're coming down in the last drive like that, you know time is ticking away. You're faced with fourth down a couple of times. What do you tell the kids?
I know I got Johnnie Walton with me. That's one thing. But I'll tell you, it's a great feeling to have a quarterback like Johnnie Walton in that situation.
But when you're down to the last play now, what do you hope for?
Well, we're hoping for a break like that or somebody to get open in the end zone. It was a great effort, Tim. Hey, thank you.
Thank you. Dick Corey, back up to you, Keith.
Well, that's quite a scene. A stunning finish to the ball game as Boston beats Philadelphia 19-17.
They get a four-man rush as Johnnie Walton unloads, and right here he's looking for Charlie Smith, the same play that they ran in the first game, but it's tipped right into the waiting arms of Frank Lockett, and no one was around Frank Lockett to stop him from making a catch. A great job of pass protecting, giving him the time. A bullet right to Charlie Smith. He just tips it right in the air. Mike Lush makes a great defensive play, but it's Frank Lockett who is there to pick off the ball. This will be one of the great memories for Frank Lockett, just standing by himself, waiting for the present. Now let's go down to the field and Tim Grant with Johnnie Walton.
Thank you, Swanee. Johnny, have you ever seen a play like that?
Well, you know, I haven't seen many like that, but that one was well welcome. You know, our motto is never give up. So we just hung in there. We did the best we could. And, you know, sooner or later, those bounces will have to go your way. So we luckily got the bounces going our way for one time.
What were you telling the guys in the huddle, John, down the stretch?
Don't give up. Don't give up, fellas. We can pull it out. We can pull it out.
All right, congratulations. Back up to you, Keith. Swanee.
Well, it's been a long time since I've had a chance to yell like that on a game-ending play. As Johnnie Walton throws it in the end zone for Charlie Smith, and it ricochets into the arms of Frank Lockett, and Philadelphia's championship party is postponed. Updating the Atlantic Division standings now. Philadelphia goes to 11-2, still very much in command of the division, but they can't have their party tonight. They'll have to tote the champagne home. Boston stays alive in the chase for the wild card spot with a record of 8-5. New Jersey and Washington, with Washington leading with just moments to go in that ball game, 29-23. With an 8-5 record, looking at the Central Division where they are the closest, you have to say that they now have a chance to hang in there and hunt some more. Here's the hero, Frank Lockett.
Tell me about the last play. It was so spectacular.
The last play, I was supposed to clear it out. Came back across the middle, and Charlie Smith was catching the ball. It knocked it up in the air, and it came right in my hand. I grabbed it and slammed it. Feels good. Hi, Mom. Feels good.
Our first time Mom in this game, Keith. The man who made the play. Back up to you.
Right.
Frank Lockett, and one more look at the winning touchdown play. Look what I found. Oh, I'll take it home.
It's somewhat prophetic. He's wearing number 32, and one of the great deflected catches for a touchdown was turned in by number 32, Franco Harris, and his immaculate reception in a playoff game, the Pittsburgh Steelers against the Oakland Raiders. And this is not a playoff game, but every bit as important, because the Boston Breakers' playoffs hope are still alive for a wild card berth, and even remotely alive for a division championship, even though that's really far out of reach. Lockett is a man that comes through with that big catch in the closing seconds of this ball game.
I'll tell you one thing. George Matthews, the principal owner of this franchise, is under the weather this weekend, but I'll bet you that He's up walking around now, if not dancing.
Walking, he's dancing, he's hopping. If he's had a case of the flu, he's gone. It's gone now.
Well, it is a big win. It's not that Philadelphia came out, as we indicated. We thought they were a little flat early, but they finished strong. And look at that. In the fourth quarter now, Jeff Napple has hit Sam Bowers, and they missed the extra point, if you can believe it. New Jersey, Washington is tied up at 29-29. There were 2 ball games last week decided, affected particularly. In fact, it made the difference as New Jersey missed an extra point and wound up losing to Chicago, and Michigan missed an extra point and wound up losing to Birmingham. So the Boston Breakers are still out on the field celebrating with their fans here at Nickerson Field. A little light rain now is starting to fall some. And the final score again, Boston 19 and Philadelphia 17. Next week, Philadelphia will be at home with tough Michigan, and Boston will be at home with Chicago. Executive producer of ABC Sports is Roone Arledge. Today's coverage of the Philadelphia Stars-Boston game produced by Mike Pearl. Directed by Craig Janoff. Technical director Rich Gilbert. Associate director Robbie Cowan. Keith Jackson, Lynn Swan, Tim Brandt in Boston. Stay tuned next for American Sportsman. Be with us again next week for more USFL action. This ABC Sports exclusive has been brought to you by Dodge Cars, America's driving machines, and Dodge Ram trucks. By Budweiser Light, the best never comes easy. That's why there's nothing else like it. By Radio Shack, the computer experts with over 6,500 locations nationwide. And by the wine cellars of Ernest and Julio Gallo. They are required to do the conversion. They are on the field. The Boston Breakers are. They have finally cleared the field now, and they will go apparently through with the formality of the extra point conversion. That's why they are still out on the field as a dejected Jim Morrow walks away with his second loss of the season. This has been a presentation of ABC Sports.